All right, good evening. Welcome to Fantastic Dimensions. This time we are playing Hudson and Brand, our Call of Cthulhu by Gaslight campaign. I think this is our 20th session, lads, actually. And this will be the beginning of your 7th official investigation since taking over the agency. So now, a little bit of housekeeping first. Reuben, Belgrave, and Gerard all were on a rather interesting and taxing investigation in the month of August 1891. They all made it back alive. However, we have some things that probably will need to be taken care of as far as like recovery goes and follow-up. Not to mention also, I know we need to do some recovery for Wilhelm still, who has been kind of off being aloof for the last several months, not keeping much in touch with the members of the agency so much, just trying to get himself back to a nice mental stability. And and of course we also have Merrick Hugo returning, who has been, you guys haven't seen him since, it's been over 2 years since Merrick made an appearance. And I don't know, where's he been, Clay? Just kind of laying low, doing other things off in another city?
Yeah, just being scummy. Just being the acrobatic thief he is.
He's been in the clink.
Pretty much.
Okay, cool. Well, it's good to have you back. So,
if I remember right, Hugo was our underworld associate.
Correct.
That is correct.
He was a burglar, correct?
Yes, he was.
Okay. Burglar, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we had jobs to be done. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the one that No-Nos wanted, right?
No. You're thinking of
The little French guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember the name. Renard,
right.
Renard.
Very good.
He has also kind of gone underground and disappeared, probably because he knows that Nono Namdek was his name. Nono Namdek, whatever. He's looking for. So now we're going to look at treatment and recovery. That's from Insanity, but we want to look at just.
According to the book, it's you do a sanity roll, one sanity roll, and if you make it, then it's 1d6 added to your sanity.
What page is that on?
I was just looking at it not too long ago. It is on page 168. 167. Sorry, 167 under self-help, the very near the bottom.
Right, increasing current sanity points. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. But wait a minute. 167, keep a reward, self-help. Correct.
Yeah.
So an investigator may choose to spend time with one entry listed in their backstory, which could act as a form of psychological support. Clearly, this does not include phobias, manias, wounds, or anything to do with Cthulhu mythos. That can be done during downtime between adventures or during the investigator development phase. All right. So that is one way of increasing your current sanity points, and that's what I know it would seem that Reuben and Wilhelm are both going to do. And I think even from what you said, Belgrave will as well.
Correct.
Okay, cool. The other way would be to go through like psychotherapy or something, but that's not so easy. Yeah. Okay, so players should go into some detail. I know I've read this before, but I need to refresh it in my own memory too, because I don't get to do this a lot. This is the first time I've run a long campaign in a while for Cthulhu too. So the players should go into some detail about what their investigator is doing to seek healing and redemption. The action should be thematically appropriate to their backstory. Perhaps they're going on a religious retreat or a holiday with a loved one, etc. Make a sanity roll. Keeper and players are encouraged to roleplay the scene to the point where it comes to a head, and then make a sanity roll, role-playing the outcome. If the roll is successful, the character regains 1d6 sanity points. If it's unsuccessful, 1 sanity point is lost. And the keeper and player should revise that aspect of the character's backstory in some way to reflect this failure. Thus, a religious retreat might result in complete loss of faith. A family holiday might result in separation or divorce, etc. And each investigator begins the game with one backstory entry that is especially important to them, their key connection. If they choose to use their key connection, they're given a bonus die when making the sanity roll. In addition to the 1d6 sanity points gained from a successful roll, they will recover from any indefinite insanity as well with their key connection. If the sanity roll has failed, that aspect of the investigator's backstory is revised and the investigator no longer has a key connection. In time, they may form a new key connection. During a future development phase, a backstory aspect may be converted into a new key connection if the player successfully uses the self-help option to regain sanity points via that connection. Okay, there we go. Cool. So you all should have a key connection in your backstory entries. If you don't, you should write it down now because you should have had one anyway. I don't think any of you have lost your key connection, so that's not going to come into effect yet, although it may happen now. Sound good? Okay, so let's go with you first, Zorn.
He gets a bonus dice because
it is your key connection. So yeah, what are you doing? Go ahead and describe.
As I explained to you before, what Zorn did, he rushed off. He cajoled, charmed, convinced Benjamin Hardcastle, and by extension his sister Rebecca Hardcastle, who is the mother of his child, who is married to a member of Parliament, and that he wants to see his child, and he wants to do this by becoming a German tutor to the young man, which is not unusual in this time. And he's managed to convince them. Zorn's idea is to get to know his son, but he will never tell him that. He promises that as long as he lives, he won't tell his son the truth, but he does want to have a connection with his son. So they eventually allow him to spend a couple months doing being the young man's tutor, and they start to form a connection. He also realizes after talking to Rebecca that there's no chance for them to ever be coming together, because she may love him, but she's also loyal to her family, and she won't leave the husband even though it's a bad marriage for him. So that gives him ability to say, okay, I understand it's a pipe dream, so I can go and live my life. So that's what Zorn was doing in the last few months.
Excellent. And of course, your son is your key connection.
Yes, he is.
So you get your bonus die. So what is your current sanity?
Current sanity is 40.
Okay, give me a sanity roll with the bonus roll. There's a help.
8. First roll.
Good. Yeah, no point rolling the bonus die. Then you can't beat a 0. All right, so you regain 1d6
of sanity back, and he feels a lot better.
Roll 6.
And he gets 4.
4. No, still, that's good. You've gone up from 40 to 44.
Hello? Sorry, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. That was on my end. Sorry. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, good. Yep, so yeah, great. You got a 10% increase. You went from 40 to 44. And you maintained your key connection with your son. You feel much better. And you feel like you might be ready to finally go back to work.
And he's
a year off.
And he tells him next season, next year, when he comes back, he will take him to Germany for a field trip. And he says, but I have some work to do in London. And he feels good. He comes back to the agency. He looks better than he's ever done. Clean clothes, new shave, more strudel, and a new cigar.
Markham is reservedly happy to see you again. He keeps his cool, though, being a real man's man. Mrs. Levi does not contain her excitement so much. She's so happy to see you. And there is, of course, a strudel in the fridge. She's made 2 every week since you've been gone for the last year, and has always kept one in the fridge just in case you returned.
I say you can
also tell she's put on quite a few pounds.
I give her a big hug, give Markham a big shake, and says, I am so glad to be back amongst friends. And again, Wilhelm's mentality compared to when he left to when he come back is 180 degrees. He's in a very good mood.
Good. Excellent. Your partner, Reuben Carmichael Brand. What have you been doing now? It's been a little less than 3 months since I've passed since the last investigation of the Forby case.
What was the young man's name that I've been bootstrapping.
Albie?
Albie, that's it. Does Albie have a last name? Do we ever come up with Albie's last name?
I believe he did. I think I made a thing for him even in the. But you know what? I know exactly where to find it. I will look in the Hudson and Brand because he came from the Hudson and Brand book. Cthulhu by Gaslight, Hudson and Brand. It's there. Obviously, his name is literally Albert something, but
right.
Let me see here. Cases, Golden Square, Curious Case of Bare Knuckle Bill. So, get this out of the way, and I will tell you in 2 seconds. So, setting the scene and the approach. Albert Barrett.
Barrett, that's it.
Albert Barrett. Okay.
What I had, or what Reuben had done previously, was to establish the school for the misfortunates, and we had moved in. We had been recruiting for an older, looking to retire, like a Jesuit and a nun, to put them in charge of the school, and we had moved in Albert and his mother into the actual school, and she was the one that was cooking and taking care of the household and the boys that were coming in there.
Yes, and didn't you also move Loyal Gibbs in there as well as like a caretaker or something like that? Or, I can't remember. I feel like Loyal had a connection with the kids.
He had a connection with the children, but he felt that his presence would bring ill, so he maintained his little shack.
Okay.
His little shack. He didn't want to put them. Yeah, but all the kids know him and hang out with him, and they probably had story hour or whatever. So he's been spending quality time over there with Albert and the rest of the crew, adding whatever legitimate skills he can to with their education and
what's he good at? What can he teach?
Tons of stuff, actually.
Besides the cult and picking the best things we're to teach the kids.
Primarily languages and art.
Art's a good one, yeah. That's
and archaeology, so history.
What kind of languages does he speak?
Chinese, Latin, Egyptian, and Tibetan.
Nice. Yeah, very good.
As well, he's got high archaeology, high appraisal, and high library use. So
okay, so you're going to spend a lot of time. And is that your key connection then? The school?
The key location, or an important meaningful location, is the School for Misfortunates. And then he's actually adopted Albie in proxy.
Okay, so Albie is your key connection?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Put a star next to that or something just so you know that he is the key connection. So you can also make a sanity roll with a bonus die.
All right.
Spending a lot of time at the school, helping out with the kids, getting it's just in time for a new term, in fact, because you got back from the Forby case in late August.
Right.
Of course, don't forget to add to your backstory, you also have a girlfriend living in town now as well.
Correct. I'm adding her right now.
You remember her name?
Mrs. Future Brand Carmichael?
No, come on. You can't remember your girlfriend's name, you scoundrel.
I have it written down.
You are a terrible boyfriend.
All right. Hit me up. I'm writing.
There she is. Gertrude Forby.
Gertie.
Indeed.
Yep. And that creepy little son of hers.
Oh.
I'm not writing him down as significant, though. I'm planning on sending him to military school.
Who the hell is Albie? Oh, there's Albie.
All right.
There's Albie.
Okay.
Yeah, her son would not be going to the school of the unfortunate. So she's wealthy. She's rich.
Oh, of course. No. I wouldn't even bring him over there. He, he killed the cats and the rats and such. Okay, with advantage. Here we go. Rolling. Okay. 31 with advantage. A 71 or a 31. So I'll take the 31.
Okay. And what was your current sanity?
36.
Perfect. So you gain 1d6, roll a d6, and you also feel much better.
5. 41. Alrighty.
Make note, gentlemen, that what happened? How did Albie disappear all of a sudden? That's very strange.
It's because he's a sneaky little shit.
Yeah, he is. He's clever.
How did that happen? That's so
Can't
bizarre.
trust us.
He's behind the lady, checking her pockets.
I don't know what happened there. Let's move. There you go. So Albie there. Oh, I know why, because I moved it to a different location. Between Albie and Gertrude, he chose Albie as his key connector. Mm-hmm.
Right.
You're a strange one, Mr. Brand.
Well, he's known Albie longer, and Albie has more needs.
Fair enough.
Him and his mom are
I just said you've
a commonality to how
definitely known Albie a lot longer.
how Reuben grew up, so he sees himself as in the kid.
And if you can maintain your relationship with Gertrude long enough, and you eventually lose your key connection with Albert, you can always, possibly change her to your key connection as well.
Sure.
As we mentioned in this section of the rules.
Or we get married and she might pass and I get her wealth.
Unless
Either
he
way.
finds out that you stole a copy of her dead husband's.
Stole nothing.
inheritance
He
and
may
told
have
the Russians.
he may have remembered some things and spoke to some people about things that they might be able to use, but stealing is a harsh word.
That's Reuben taken care of. Now, Mr. Belgrave, you also wanted to try to recover some sand.
Indeed. I'm not going to use my key connection for that, though.
Okay, what is your key connection?
Because my key connection is my sister.
Okay,
So although I do spend my time with her on like the days off when I get the chance to go up and visit to Norwich, but he's a little too screwed up in the head at the moment to like try and put any of that on her. He wants her to have a happy and normal life. So instead, he speaks with the pastor at the church about things he's seen and tries to reestablish a connection with a greater goodness.
excellent, very good. What's your current sanity?
29.
Oh,
Exactly. So I don't want to lose my key connection. So that's why I'm not going to try and risk it on this.
Whoa, you mean Zorn has more sanity than most people? That's a bad sign. That's a real
So this is your backstory entry for your faith, your religion, right?
Exactly. You're getting a little choppy there.
Yeah, who knows?
Looks like you're far from the mic. All right.
No, definitely not.
All right. So let's see here. If I make my roll, I'm probably not going to, but we'll see. I rolled 21.
All right, yeah, you don't lose your faith.
Sweet.
So that would be
That is lucky. I expected to fail.
1d6. 1d6 for Mr.
Yay.
Belgrave.
1 point.
So you're up to 30.
Yeah. That was a big whoop. Yay.
Oh, we're gonna die.
Okay, and what about you, Gerard? Did you need to do any sand recovery during the downtime, or?
I have 47 sanity,
Mhm.
so I think I'm not sure I want to do anything where I'm going to risk my connection with
Just
something.
get backstory connections? You don't have to. I'm just asking if you wanted to.
Well, do you remember what my original sanity was? Do you have that down anywhere?
No. Well, what's your power? It'd be equal to your power.
Oh, my power is 70.
So you started off at 70. Whew. Now
Wow.
you're at 47.
Yeah, that's a lot of roll.
Well, you've been on a lot of investigations, in fairness.
Yeah, that's true. So, because I was crunching crackers whenever you were explaining, I guess I didn't hear it exactly.
So what happens is you should have backstory entries on the second page of your character sheet.
Yeah.
One of those would be your key connection, whatever you chose to designate as your key connection.
Yeah, I think I mentioned to you he was going to go visit his where he was raised with his grandmother in Ireland.
Oh, right. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, your grandmother. What's her name?
Well, I don't remember off the top of my head.
Don't have a name?
No.
Is she Irish?
On her side it was Irish. She was married into the Bonham family, so yeah, she would be Irish, I guess. But English
Let's
Irish.
see here.
Her name is Granny.
Hold on a second. I just want to look at a pronunciation here.
Not Granny Smith. No.
Great apples.
So her name is Blonid.
Blotted?
Blonid.
Blonded. Okay.
That is spelt B-L
Uh-huh.
A. It's actually an A with an accent over it. I can't remember what the damn word is for the accent. My daughter would slap me if she was here. But B-L accented A, T-H-N-A-I-D. Blonid.
That's a first name, right?
That's first name.
Yeah. But I would be risking my relationship with her.
If you fail the role, yes. Is she your key connection?
Well, it would either be her or that the estate that she lives upon, because that's where he grew up, and the area around it would be
Right,
be a
right.
connection too. So one or the other, it's going to be hard to lose because that's the only basic family.
Like you don't necessarily lose the connection completely. You just lose the key connection to it if it's a key connection. And if you fail the role, then it says we revised the aspect of your backstory to reflect that failure. So you could have a strained relationship with her, or maybe you find the estate depressing now and find it difficult to return. Like that.
Okay, yeah, that's
it would be a tough one. But.
Yeah, as long as it's not a complete, breakdown or they die or something like that, then that's okay to do.
That could happen too.
Like that. So yeah, I'd like to gain more of my my sanity back.
So yeah, we'll call that your grandmother, Blonid. She's your key connection. So go ahead and roll a sanity roll with a bonus die. So start by rolling 1 percentile.
Okay. Let me get my dice up here.
And then you can roll an extra D10 as well for the bonus die.
Okay, so roll a D100 is what you said?
Yep.
Okay. I rolled a 63.
Okay, so now roll your bonus die, 1D10.
1D10. I rolled a 3.
Okay, so that changes the 63 to a 33, which is a success.
Oh,
so the bonus die saved you there.
Yes.
Now roll a D6 to see how much sanity you recover from spending the time out there at your grandmother's farm. I presume maybe something kind of like a farm.
Yeah, it's kind of an estate. A country estate. Yeah.
Country estate.
So D6. Don't 6. 2.
2. That's okay. You're up to 49 now.
Oh, 49. Okay, that's not.
Yeah, because you were at 47 before, right?
Yeah, that's true. Gotcha.
You gained 2 more. So cool.
Okay, got it marked down now. I'm set.
Everybody regained a little bit of sanity, and nobody lost any connections or any problems. So well done. That's Clay. that name's gonna mess me up now too. I saw Merrick say, "Be right back." My 2-year-old's yelling, "What?" Clay will be right back. Okay, so it is then now December. When did I say it was December 11th? I think I put that in the chat, didn't I? Where is that chat? Right there. Active Hudson brand.
I'd like to talk to Reuben if he's available.
The 11th of December. Sure. I mean, we could say you're all now at the Hudson and brand. Hudson brand offices. Right here.
I would like to offer my services to teach music.
Good call. Yeah, they, unlike some others, would really appreciate your recent forays into the gypsy music as well.
Yeah, it could be a broad spectrum of the range of music.
Sure.
I've had
more of a music appreciation than individual one-on-one. Maybe find one in the rough that's actually got a talent for music and go from there.
Oh yeah, barely. Yeah, because I've had experience with the American music and some of the Latin music and the Americas, so they
Very
can get
good.
a wide range. Only thing I haven't had not been really shown or being able to participate with was Asian styles of music, but that's sometime in the future. Hopefully, I will.
So, Ian, is there a chance we could see if any of the individual boys has a knack for music, maybe a hidden talent for music?
I'm sure some of them do.
Maybe our violinist could end up with an apprentice.
Let's see here. What's your luck, Rob?
My luck is, it went down, so it
often does.
41. Yeah, remember I used
41. Well, unfortunately, Albie cannot play music. He's tone deaf. But yeah, absolutely, one of the students will. So it won't be Albie.
41. What luck? Jeez.
Yeah. What's yours, Wilhelm?
He has 10 times as much luck as I do. I have 4 luck.
Sorry.
I have 4 luck.
Woo! 4. And that's after regaining luck from your last investigation? God damn.
Yeah.
Well, at least Van Zorn has that winning personality to go along with it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like I said, dark youngs do amazing things to your luck.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have laughed so hard. Really, seriously, I feel like I pulled a muscle in my
Zorn's all like, I don't give a luck.
Yeah. So Reuben, how's it been going since how are things since I've been gone for these few months?
We've had a couple successful cases, made quite a bit of money, and made a lot of new friends.
Very good. Like who?
You've had one successful case, but yeah.
Hey.
Well, okay, maybe there was a couple of mundane cases too.
Exactly. We've got it all written up and ready for you. It's in English, of course.
Any major changes that I should be aware of?
We sold all of your stock. We've carried you over as a consultant.
Okay, I'm not sure how you could do that, but sure.
I joke with you, of course.
I know, Reuben. I had missed you too.
But we did reinvest all of your potential profits back into the company. Not kidding.
Yeah, that's something I would probably do too. So no problem there. So did my package by any chance come from the gunsmiths?
Oh God.
I'm going to say
before the last case you did, yeah?
I'm going to say
it's been almost a year. It's been almost a year.
It's been a year. I think actually been more than a year. So yeah.
I would say
that's right. It's been almost a year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, so, your package is waiting for you in the conservatory.
Fuck me if I can remember what it was. You'll have to tell me.
Some sort of like triple barrel gun. If you go wrong, it shoots backwards or something.
No. It's a big gun. A big gun. I'll send you the information. Okay.
I think I remember.
Yeah, you remember now.
It came from the United States, right?
Yeah. Well, it was the plans were they were going to build it here.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, so Reuben, as I just wanted to say is that I apologize for my behavior after that last one in Wales, and
not Wales. It was in Cornwall, wasn't it? What was it called?
I thought it was Wales.
The Moors.
The Moors.
No,
yes.
No.
It's like the Black Moors or something like that.
Yes, I wish.
Column of the Baskerville takes place in the same place.
Right. I just wanted to apologize for my behavior back then. I wasn't myself, but
Dartmoor.
Yeah, but you have my word. I am back as good as new.
Very well. No need to apologize. We were all stressed and strained by that event.
I offered my hands to Reuben and said, I hope we can move forward to this.
Absolutely. Upwards and onwards, sir.
I have a moment of silence for Oscar Bennett and Alice Morrow, who are no longer with the agency.
Well, they're not dead, so.
They're dead to us.
Gerard,
Mara's bookstore was sold on behalf of the state. So
Yeah, it's got a weird business that we're keeping an eye on. That's right. I was supposed to be keeping an eye on that to see if I could get anything that I could use to maneuver on with No.
what was it? I can't even remember now.
I believe it was a real estate venture. What?
Oh, it's an importer. Yeah.
Importer. You're right. Right.
not,
Did it do it
wait a minute, not universal importer exporters.
It is an international import exporter. Yeah.
Not
They
universal.
were people that were in direct competition with No-No's importing.
Okay.
Yep. It's not Heligoland.
Right. Exactly.
And
That was, of course, the first thing that they also thought of.
I shake hands with Gerard. Says, "Good to see you again, man. Good shape." Okay.
Excuse me. Sorry, I was distracted here. What was it you said? I'm sorry.
It's good to see you again. I shake your hand. Yes.
You're looking fine and healthy, much better than last time I saw you. It's great.
I was in a bad shape, but some country air would you'd be surprised. Merritt, it's been a long time, sir. Glad to see you back.
Good to see you as well.
And Clarence, I'm glad to see you're still here. We didn't have a chance to speak the last time, and I left very quickly. Thanks again for all the arrangements you made for me.
Of course, Master Bronzorn. Anything you wish.
Don't just call me Willie.
That would not be appropriate.
I like him.
Yes, Belgrave has been brought on as a staff member, actually. And he is kind of working under Markham in a sense, but he's more like whereas Markham is the house butler, Belgrave is kind of the assistant on the go.
He's the traveling butler.
Basically, yeah.
Well, I made arrangements at my gentleman's club for us all to have dinner tonight. I think it'll do us all well to get reacquainted again, have a few cigars, drink some schnapps and brandy.
Well received, sir.
I shall get the carriage, and I'll go off and order the carriage.
Yep. Albert Stafford, your usual carriage driver, of course.
Put together
around.
a package of goods that I might need for my job, like a pistol and.
I want to call.
Much? There's Albert.
I want to call Merrick Hugo. That seems like the go-to name. Which one does he prefer, Merrick or Hugo?
Hugo is fine.
Yeah. On the side note, away from everybody else, my man Hugo, what connections, if any, have you had with No?
Not many. I could try to find him with one of the underbosses if you want, but I don't talk with the riffraff too much. I've elevated myself.
You have? Do tell.
I've gone up once or twice in the ranks, got shot back down. Just got out of the joint, so I'm got to reinvent myself once again.
You're gonna keep your name or gonna try something else?
Can't build a reputation if I keep changing my name. Hugo is fine. Merrick Hugo, however you wish to call me.
Well, very good, sir. We are also trying to keep up appearances. So if there's anything that comes around that looks of interest, bring it to me personally outside of the confines of the business.
He'll smile. Of course.
Well, anyway, like I said, I have arranged dinner for all of us. That includes you, Clarence, at the club. The Princess Club.
Yes, that's the what's the club called? The Princess Club?
The Prince Club.
Oh, the Prince Club. Sorry,
The Princess Club.
I was like, what? No, that's the Princess
Yeah,
Club.
we all gotta glitter up before we go. No,
Mm-hmm.
no, it's a Prince Club. It's my it's a private club, and you will all be my guests.
Excellent. Very good.
What month is this right now in the game?
It is December 11th. So, hold on a second. I'll tell you. I have a calendar here for 1891. Do I not? Wait. Hudson and Brand. Do I have a folder for it? Man, I thought I did. Well, I will just Google search one real quick then. 1891 calendar. Go.
While you're doing that, what I was getting to was that
it is a Friday.
Okay. Friday, December 11th.
Yep, 2 weeks out from Christmas.
Yep, that's what I was getting to was Christmas arrangements for the school. Want to make sure that food baskets are prepared and delivered to the boys if they have homes, and if not, then make arrangements for the boys to be there. Now that's the idea: is that if they don't have a home, that the school is their home. There's that small dorm there.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to make sure that that Christmas is a good time for them.
All right.
Funnel some money that way.
And also, Clay, when he was referring to No, I'm not sure that you, no, that character wasn't really active in the game at the time when you last played. But No, hold on.
Namdak.
My expert thing. Here he is. There's No. Namdak Yu Ying. He is a crime boss for the Cho in London. And his gang had a big boost after the Greens suffered major setbacks. Shortly after, actually, the investigation that you were involved in fact. So his gang profited off of their loss. So you'd be familiar with the name for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, he's bad news.
Not somebody to be trifled with. Gerard has met him before as well.
Of sorts.
Yeah. But all right. Cool. So yeah, you guys can go over to the Prince Club, have your dinner and cigars and brandy, snifters, whatever you enjoy.
Reuben will definitely pass on the cigars, but yes.
Probably shoot some billiards or something. Or
yeah, basically just have a good time. Just try to get everyone, back together. Just try to get everyone back together and stuff like that, and just try to build camaraderie and just, sky's the limit.
Excellent.
When if Hugo doesn't have the clothes, then we will provide something to get him in there.
Oh, of course.
Oops, put that back actually. When you get back to the office, anyway, Mrs. Levy would have gone home for the evening. Mark would still be there, of course. Stafford, your carriage driver, drops you off. And Markham has a couple of letters. In fact, let me just double check here real quick with social class. So obviously, being owners of the inquiry agency, both Reuben and Wilhelm would be of at least middle class.
Middle class.
Wilhelm, I believe, is of the upper class because he's also independently wealthy. Correct?
Yes, he is an aristocrat, actually.
Mm-hmm. So actually, Von Zorn is of the upper class. Reuben is of the middle class.
Does the British social ladder recognize Prussian and other? Not to take away from his status. I was just asking, what do you think they would?
Oh, I think they would. Yeah.
Probably so.
Yeah, a noble of any country is much better than a peasant of your own.
Well, sure, of course.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention, if I recall correctly, wasn't there a lot of German heritage in the royal family at one point in time? I think there was a lot of German involvement in the royal family of England as well. I could be mistaken.
We're all related to the Habsburgs.
Exactly.
So yeah.
The Habsburgs.
Yeah, that explains his low sanity.
So, but yes, definitely, his social class is upstanding here in London as well. Now, the quick question would be, who else here would be middle or upper class? I guess Hugo would definitely be of the lower class, being a multiple time convicted criminal. Belgrave is of the servant class, so he's also of the lower class, essentially. Gerard is the one that would be the big question mark. I think because he definitely started off very poor. He's had some success recently as a performer.
Well, my
But
heritage,
he
my
was
heritage, I'm rich.
right. He was born into the upper class.
He was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, why did I forget? Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
He was
So,
a
yeah, he
black-
would still be.
He
was-
doesn't accept him. I think that was the deal, was that he went on his own.
No,
Yeah,
yeah, so I mean.
He's a black
you know,
sheep of the family, so
So he's still
everybody
of
else.
the upper class.
Yeah,
Cool.
exactly.
Okay, good. So there are 3 invitations. There is one for Gerard Bonham, one for Reuben Carmichael Brand, and one for Wilhelm von Zorn. You have, Markham says, these were hand delivered by a messenger shortly after you left for the club.
Oh,
Once I assume you open and see what they are.
Yeah.
They are
Indeed.
invitations to a party at the residence of John Bidwell. John Bidwell is little more than a social acquaintance to any of you at most. But common knowledge is that he is a wealthy entrepreneur involved in shipping and industry in Britain and its colonies. Something of an adventurer. He's visited America, the Orient, and Australia. Very well educated. He's known for his keen mind and sharp wit. He has many wealthy and powerful friends, including even members of the royal family itself. Never married, no family. And he has been conspicuously absent from society for some time, actually, for about 3 years. Rumor has it that he had been suffering from an exotic illness and was confined to hospital until recently. Now, Zorn, I would like you to roll a no roll for me, please. That would be based on your education for no rolls. Yeah,
yes.
I think so. Yep. Yeah, intelligence for idea rolls,
Right.
education for no rolls. Yeah.
And luckily he's good at that. 45, which 45 out of the 61.
Okay. You actually know the truth. You know that he had been confined not in a hospital, but in Albrook Asylum in Mercy Hill,
I would like say that out loud,
which is in Gloucester.
I would say like, this gentleman, I remember someone reading somewhere that the rags that he was confined somewhere.
Interesting.
Interesting. Yes. When is the party? When is the
Anyway, the party is tomorrow night.
Mhm.
And it is, sure to be based on, what says in the invitation, and knowing his reputation and all the people that he knows and has relationships with, it is going to be the social event of the season,
Of course.
like a pre-Christmas party kind of thing, right? So, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's that seems interesting.
Is this the sort of thing we would just bring suit and tie, or is this tails?
Probably tails and all, yeah.
Tails it
The
is.
full deal.
Well,
I shall begin to get your suits together then.
well,
Thank you, Belgrave.
make sure you get one for yourself too, because you're coming.
I will not be wearing tails, sir. And I'll go off to take care of the clothes.
Yes. Merrick, do you have something to wear for this party?
I can scrounge around for something, but if you have something, I would take it.
Yes. We will we'll see if I got anything in my trunk if it hasn't been sold off yet. We might have something that'll fit. What size are you?
I bloody don't know. And he'll try to pull a tag or something from the clothes he's wearing.
What's your character size? I'm just curious.
He's got a +1 build.
Allow me, sir. And
Right. You have a size stat as well.
Size. Let me scroll up. Size. 50.
Oh, we're same size.
Nice.
It literally same size. Yeah, I think I got something that'll fit you.
And Belgrave also has tailoring skills, so
Yes, he does indeed.
All right. So we need to bring some ladies.
Why am I choking on my coffee? Sorry. Ladies,
Well,
yes, of course, I guess.
We can have ladies delivered, no problem.
Oh, that'll be good. So,
You said something about turning the agency into a brothel?
well, this is the first time Zorn ever mentioned about women. So that would be unusual for him to say that, but it is something he would say right now.
Okay.
So, you should have a good time. Any outstanding business with the agency?
No, sir. We're in a leave period at the moment.
Oh, good. Well, I'm going to go read the folders. If anyone wants me, I'll be in my room.
Very good.
Now, would you have told him at all about the latest case, the Forby case?
I'm sorry. Say again.
Would you have told him about the Forby case? Most recent.
I provided him the files. He's got everything's written up. That's what I was saying. It's all in English, though. It's not
Right.
Right. So that's what he's.
So could you please, say what's in the files then? Because I don't think Joe saw the game. So, what would be in the files about the case?
Only the most preliminary stuff. It wouldn't have any of the sordid sort of details in case someone else was to read it, like the police or so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, that we were there on a treasure seeking mission.
Oh.
And we were to find an emerald egg that was the key to the fortune for the young lady and her husband, who subsequently died of shock.
Oh.
But
I assume there was no more three-legged monsters running around.
Certainly not. That would be absurd. No, there was a living bronze statue that chased us and tried to kill us.
Reuben, at any other time, I would say you're pulling my leg, but that actually sounds kind of tame compared to some things.
And there was a slimy swamp man all covered in grass and moss. But fortunately, we had nothing but visual encounters with that one.
Right. Well, I'll finish reading up what you have down in my room. See you in the morning.
I have a question out of game question.
Yes.
Wilhelm had sent us or gave us each a pistol at one time. What was the spec? What was the specs on that pistol?
Ooh,
I
don't know.
Yeah, I gave it out. It's just it's a revolver, but with a +1 because of the quality of the.
I have these stats. It's 1d10 +1, range is 20. You can attack 1 to 3 times per round, and has ammo of 6. I will put it in the chat.
Just for your benefit, Joe, based on for Wilhelm's benefit, the descriptions that he's given, aforementioned swamp man and the living statue, verdigris bronze.
Alrighty. I have a little extra snaps before I go turn into the bed.
When he's out of sight, they will they'll call Hugo and Belgrave back in and say, "Gentlemen, our Prussian friend here doesn't have quite the best grasp on social etiquette, of course. So, unfortunately, invitational only. I think that we could entertain y'all in a different way, if at all possible. I would hate to put you in a difficult situation."
Markham will chime in and say, "Well, do either of you know how to drive a carriage? Perhaps Albert could be given the night off."
Indeed. Well spoken, sir. Well spoken.
He looks at Belgrave and at Hugo.
I do have a passing knowledge of how to drive a carriage. I assume, though,
There
that I
you
would
go.
be attending them during the party.
You
Right,
said you'd be
I would-
attending them during the party, is that what you said?
Right, that's what I figured I would be doing.
Markham would say, if indeed it is an invitational only, it would be assumed that the household servants would be tending to everyone during the party. To bring your own servants may be seen as an insult to
Indeed.
Then drive the carriage, I
the
shall.
host.
What I was thinking is maybe there'd be so many carriage drivers and attendants and so forth. They may have their own outer party, as it were,
Mhm.
a gathering of sorts.
Quite likely.
And that might be an even better place for someone who had good ears, like Master Hugo, to catch some gossip, maybe some potential quarry information.
I'll be around. I figure there are others that, the lower class, those that are in need and are helping, and you'll kind of look around. I'm good at blending in.
Very good.
You'll
Very good.
smile.
Very well met, Jerry. He just Mr. Van Zorn doesn't quite grasp the intricacies of British
etiquette.
British etiquette, indeed.
What's the carriage driver's name again?
Albert Stafford.
I shall
He's
inform.
another Albert.
I shall inform Albert that he will have the night off then. And then I'll go back to looking for the clothes that they're going to be wearing and getting them prepared and fixing the loose buttons and all that other good stuff.
Sure. No problem. Markham will dig through the stores, and he'll find he does have an extra, kind of cloak and top hat for Hugo to use. If he wants to go as the second driver, as it were.
The runner, carriage runner.
Oh, they might have two drivers. Why not?
Sure.
I don't know why you would, but yeah, maybe because you're successful and you want to flaunt it. I don't know.
Yep, flip in.
Exactly.
So that when you get there, he can hop down and put down the ladder so they can get out of the carriage, and the driver can stay up in the driver's seat.
Indeed.
Mhm.
Very good. Then I guess we will do our normal routines until it's time to go to the party, unless something comes up,
Okay.
at least on Reuben's side of the house.
Right. Okay. Do you break the bad news to Von Zorn the next day or whatever that you won't be bringing any women? Or although you're invited, you could probably bring a woman if you wanted to.
Well,
I don't know, how would that work?
Reuben's bringing Gertrude if she's available.
Would that be just like a +1 kind of thing, or
Exactly.
Of course, yeah, +1.
Because I'm assuming it wouldn't be polite to say, "Oh, you can come, but leave your wife at home" or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a party, it's assumed that you're going to have a companion with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I guess Reuben will take this time to
What is Reuben's luck?
go grab some flowers and head over to Gertrude's.
What is Reuben's luck?
Current luck is, survey says, a 57.
Okay. Unfortunately, Gertrude cannot on such short notice. She would love to. It sounds a great party, but she has obligations with, is it George, the son? Yes, George.
The brother?
No, the son.
The son. Okay, very good. Did the brother catch employment as was hoped upon by introducing him to the colonel?
Yes, he did indeed. He has got work in the city thanks to connecting him with Colonel, what's his goddamn name? Colonel Big Red. Albert. He's another fucking Albert too, wasn't he?
Albert's a popular name.
Let's see, which
King
scenario
Albert.
was that from? That was in the Night of the Jackal scenario when you first met that guy. Hollingsworth, Colonel Hollingsworth.
Indeed.
Yes. Yep. So again, it's because I have all of these cool images. There was Colonel Hollingsworth. You might remember him, Wilhelm.
Oh, yes.
He was
right.
also the one who put them onto the last job that you weren't on.
Well, I guess
Um,
at this point he will take a few moments away from Gertrude and talk to George and see what his plans are. What are these plans to separate them? What is he doing that's keeping Mom occupied?
Oh, she's helping him with some things for school that he's been struggling with.
I see. All right. Well, how about
That's John. That's her brother.
I introduce George to Loyal and see if Loyal can distract him, and then we'll try for Mom again.
Jesus Christ! You're gonna bring Loyal over to your girlfriend's house?
Well, I was thinking of something that would is it actual work? Schoolwork? I'm trying to think of some way I can break the moment here.
You're just really trying to convince her to go with you? Okay, I tell you what, you can roll persuade. It'll take about 10 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
Or if you want to try to charm her, you can. Or if you want to intimidate her, tell her she doesn't go, you'll ruin her, and she'll never work in this town again.
How about I socially
Fast talk.
intimidate her in that if there were any plans for a future engagement that we would really need these insights to be gained in these sort of parties.
Jesus, her husband hasn't been dead 3 months yet, man.
Indeed, that's why I said in the future. we must look at the future.
And what
And
skill
I
are
could-
you trying to
And I
teach her?
could bring in a tutor if need be for the young master there.
What skill would you be trying to apply to this?
I am unfortunately going to imply intimidate, my highest of those three.
Jesus.
Well,
Okay.
I again, I'm doing it socially, not
I get you. I get you. Here, go for it.
It's the stiff upper lip for the Britain. That's all it is
Get you.
for Queen and country. Whew, here we go. Jesus Christ. I have a 39, so I have to use 4 luck just to succeed.
Do you want to use 4 luck?
I'm going to use 4 luck. He needs a date.
Wow, you really want your girlfriend to go on this to this party? Okay, you got it. She'll make arrangements. Yeah, the tutor's a good idea, and you know what? She could use a night out. She hasn't been to a proper party since moving to London in the last couple months.
And I guess the flowers didn't help at all, huh? He had stopped for flowers en route.
Yeah, of course the flowers.
And
Gertrude is going to the party.
and I will. Is there anything that I can get for you for the event?
For her?
Yes.
No, she's got.
New pair of gloves, a hat, something.
Well, I mean, if you want to like, she's planning to get a dress, but yeah, if you want to, do you know a tailor you can set her up with, or an outfitter?
I know people that know people, but yes.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Great.
So I guess he'll spend the day dress shopping with young Gertrude.
Excellent. Sounds like a day well spent.
Yeah, but I'm still going to hook up that creepy little boy with Loyal. He'll probably get a kick out of him because he smells like dead stuff.
Jesus Christ. Good old Loyal Gibbs.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
He'll love him.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
All right. So that's what he will be doing until the event. So we're going dress shopping.
Yes. What about you, Von Zorn? Anything special you want to do besides breaking out your best? But
Use my social contacts and see if I can find a date for tonight.
a date for the night. What's your credit rating?
It's 59.
You can always
What kind of
buy a date.
Not
credit rating is not just money. Credit rating is to do with social standing as well.
yeah, social settings. So he's
In fact, it's sometimes more social standing than money. But what kind of date would you like?
I'm going to go from the top down. I'm going to go to someone at my same station all the way to a working lady, not a prostitute or anything, but maybe a commodore who's looking to go out, who can dress up.
So a woman of your own station would be
An aristocrat.
A Prussian.
Aristocrat.
No, that's my nationality. Station.
Basically, as in just a wealthy woman. Yeah, not necessarily
Yeah.
a kind of profession. I think. Yeah.
I have an idea.
He likes old women.
I could introduce him to my aunt.
Your aunt? Who's your aunt?
Aunt B.
Thank you, Gerard. But I'm going to pass. but next time.
All right. Let me see here. Victorian. Aristocrat. Find just want to find a good image here. Ooh. God damn it! It would have to have all that stupid stock.
I didn't mean to make it so complicated.
No, it's not complicated at all. I just wanted to pull up a character image.
Sure.
I just want to find one that doesn't have bloody watermarks all over it. That's all. Ooh, here we go. Okay, we're going to save this image as. We're going to give her a name too. Her name is Madeline Booth. Save. Excellent. And she is indeed an aristocrat. And, through some of your connections, whatever, maybe somebody from the Prince's Club, etc.
Yeah.
You get what do you call it? You get matched up.
Right.
It's a very Victorian thing to do, actually.
As they did that quite often back then. But my reputation would be on the line on this too, because she.
And there's Madeline.
Oh, okay. Excellent. I will tell her that we will have a carriage to pick her up.
She's also probably about half your age. How old are you?
37.
Yeah, she is near half your age.
Okay. Well.
No, she is half your age. Sorry. Yeah.
Shit. Wow, that's not optimal, but.
Why not?
Well, for me personally, but I bet back then in those days it was totally fine. So.
I mean, she might be 20, but probably not.
Yeah. Well, it's fine. It's a date, so there you go.
20, so she's a spinster.
Okay, and so you get yourself ready. It's good to see you gentlemen have your priorities in order. How about Gerard?
We don't know what the horrors are before us.
Anything Gerard wants to do before the party specifically?
You know what? Gerard might actually have a really interesting date potential in another entertainer, maybe like an opera singer or something like that, someone within the industry that make another celebrity sort of impact. Just a thought.
Yeah, I was thinking he was going to go solo and see what he could find at the party himself. But yeah, if it's going to be mainly couples, then maybe he should have it.
So everybody else is bringing a date. You think maybe you might as well?
Yeah, if everybody else is going to do it, I might as well. Yes.
Why not? It's a bit of crack, before you guys all die to horrible mythos terrors.
Yeah, I like the word. I like what you just said. We're all going to do a crack, okay?
Sorry, it's an Irish thing. Crack is fun. Good times.
Yeah, okay.
Crack. Oh, that's a great name. Her name is Ava Fox.
Hey, there you go.
And
sounds like to me from the theater.
It does. It does sound like a. This is actually probably a picture of somebody famous, but I don't know who she is. So, save image. Ava Fox. It's a good entertainer's name too, yeah. All right, boom. Get that out of the way, and there's Miss Fox.
Whoa, that's a pretty one.
Shame on you, John. That is a beautiful Victorian opera singer right there.
She is amazingly beautiful.
Yeah. Well,
look at your date. Looks like she doesn't even brush her hair in a week.
Her hair is mussed up like that for a reason, if you know what I mean.
All right, enough of this nonsense. There, you got dates. Ava, Madeline, and Gertrude.
Gertie.
Gertie. It doesn't make it any better. It's a terrible name. Sorry if anybody's married to Gertrude or has a sister named Gertrude. I apologize. But it
Saved
sounds
her
like-
from a terrible
It
marriage.
sounds like a name for a cow or something. Okay, so the party. Finally, September 12th, Saturday night. So a light, damp fog descends on the city the night of Bidwell's party. The gas lamps flicker along the streets, and the clatter of hooves and carriages echo in the clammy night air. Big Ben chimes ominously in the foggy distance. Several carriages already stand waiting when you arrive at Bidwell's residence in Blenheim Terrace in fashionable St. John's Wood. Groups of hackney coachmen cluster under gas lamps, their forms silhouetted in the fog. A warm glow emanates from the house where London's elite have gathered. And I put a little floor plan of the house up there, just to kind of give an idea of the size of it, etc. You're not likely to visit all of the rooms during the party, but So you show your invitations, of course, and you will be admitted to the party, while Belgrave and Hugo gather with the other coachmen, under some of under one of the gas lamps outside, and they're passing around flasks of schnapps or whatever they might have. Probably gin. Gin's a big English thing, isn't it? So gin or schnapps or whatever it may be, and having a good old time. The coachmen. They might even get into a little bit of dicing later too. Somebody brought some bones with them. The guests are shown into the ballroom of Bidwell's mansion, which you can see there on the ground floor. I will pull up the image. Actually, how did I end up closing it? Just so I can actually see it myself. Yeah, so you come in through the foyer, and then through the doors, and on the right-hand side is the rather large ballroom. So you're shown in there with your dates. Men in formal attire pass trays of champagne while chefs are serving food from an enormous buffet. The sound of a string quartet hangs above the clatter and chatter of the revelers who mingle, eat, drink, and dance. Silver trays, champagne glasses, and jewelry sparkle in the soothing glow of the gaslit chandeliers. The wealthy and influential of London are everywhere, but nowhere do you see the evening's host. As you kind of mingle a little bit with the other guests present, you quickly learn that John Bidwell has not yet made his appearance at his party. You see government officials, businessmen, celebrated artists and writers, numerous members of London's spiritual and occult community may be of interest to you, Mr. Carmichael Brand. Why don't you give me a credit rating roll or a education roll, your choice. Or you can just roll the die and compare to both.
Education dice for sure. Hold on. It is a 51, and his education is...
You can make the roll to Joe and Rob as well.
Okay.
An education roll. You mean like an idea roll?
No, education is a knowledge roll. Idea is
I'm sorry.
roll.
Knowledge.
37 out of 61 on education.
Okay, you did well.
Or credit rating, whatever.
Yeah, you did well. You succeeded at both, yeah. One die roll compared to both skills.
Forgive my question again. I don't see a knowledge.
I said it's your education score. Your education score is your no roll.
Oh, gosh. I was looking at something else. It's an 83, so I rolled a 51.
Okay, cool. So you succeeded on one. You did not succeed on the credit rating roll, but that's okay.
Oh, let me roll it.
No, it's one roll.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. Rob, did you roll?
Yeah, I got a 90 in education, and so
And
I
what's your
roll
credit rating? Your credit is in the upper 20s, I think now, right?
I roll a 31.
What's your credit rating, just out of curiosity?
Oh, where's that at?
It's in the skills.
In the skills.
Alphabetic on the
Credit
left.
rating is a skill,
gotcha,
education
gotcha.
is an attribute. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Hold on just a minute. I got it down there to the page to do this.
Remember, you started out with a credit rating of 9.
Yeah, I know it was bad. Now I think it's 20 something.
Okay,
Yeah, he's
think a lot.
25, I believe.
Cool. Okay, so you succeeded one of it. So between all of you, you're able to recognize or identify Henry Matthews, the Home Secretary, Major Henry Smith, who's the Commissioner of the City of London Police. You see Annie Besant of the Theosophical Society. You see Florence Farr and Dr. William Wynne Westcott of the Golden Dawn. That
Oh
one
boy.
you would recognize right away, Reuben. Robert James Lees, official psychic to the court of Queen Victoria. You also see celebrated psychic Godfrey Williamson and wealthy shipping magnate Nigel Stander. You see authors Arthur Conan Doyle and Bram Stoker and H.G. Wells.
Wow.
Actor Henry Irving and his frequent leading lady Ellen Terry. And the artists Walter Sickert and Aubrey Beardsley. Sorry. There are other eminent guests as well, but these are all names that just jump out at you right away. These are kind of like the famous of the famous here.
Well, with my date, I will go and do things that aristocrats do and mingle with them.
Excellent. Very good.
Shake their hands and,
With
etc.
with the obvious large number of interesting people, Reuben will take this time to present Gertrude with her gift for the evening. He picked up an ornate lorgnette, a little pair of glasses that fold into a ornate silver.
Oh, slick.
So that she can, one, be seen and see others with her magnifying lenses.
Nice. She's very impressed. I'm very pleased.
And then we will also mingle arm in arm.
Very good. Yeah. So yeah, you like I said, you see a lot of people involved in the occult of London, as it were. I can't remember. Does Von Zorn have much interest in the occult, or is he just more into the high society?
Oh,
He wrote the book.
Both, actually. He's, he's kind of the Fox Mulder of Prussia now.
Right.
Remember, he sent letters to Miskatonic and a bunch of people trying.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, cool. I thought so, but it's been a little while.
Right.
Just as a thought, with the high rating of occult, is there what's the right way to phrase this? Is there a hand signal or a symbol that we could flash to let others know that we're on the inside of the occult, sort of thing, like gang flashing, but for occult investigators and
What you mean to like let the members of the Golden Dawn know that you know what's up?
Yeah, something like that.
No, you don't have to. They know who Hudson and Brand are.
Very well.
They know who Reuben Carmichael Brand and Wilhelm von Zorn are as well.
Fair enough.
Yep. Don't worry. You may not be as quite as famous as they are yet, but you're known in the circle.
Hey, is the Colonel here by any chance?
Yeah, he would be. Why not? Colonel Hollingsworth. Excellent point. Let's see here. Pull that up. There we go.
He would definitely be someone I would say hi or hello to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He would be here. So where is he?
We would definitely make the round because
Colonel Hollingsworth is there. Hey, Reuben, Wilhelm.
Indeed, and we'd definitely swing by because Gertrude would want to say hello for keeping her brother occupied.
Indeed. Condolences on the passing of Howard, wasn't it? Harry. Sorry. Condolences on the passing of Harry. Gertrude, you must be devastated.
He will put his hand on her hand.
Mm-hmm.
How's your family, Colonel?
We're all well, doing quite good since those horrifying events of last year.
Yes.
All the repairs to the estate are complete. And
well, I also like to thank you for the good word that you put out about Hudson and Brand. It really has helped us.
well, you should thank yourselves for the good work that you do.
Well, if you ever need us again, we are at your disposal.
Yes, of course. So it's quite the party, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, do excuse me, Mr. Secretary. And he goes wandering after Henry Matthews.
Colonel?
Yeah, so Hollingsworth would definitely be there. Everybody who's anybody pretty much is here.
Sherlock Holmes, my good friend.
Sherlock Holmes is deceased, my friend. He passed away in the summer. Or was it the spring? He passed away earlier in 1891, anyway.
All of us in the know, of course, feel that he did not, in fact, pass. They never found a body.
They never found the body, no, but he fell off of a cliff or something like that while struggling with his arch nemesis.
Indeed.
His
sad event.
his business, I believe, is still under the management of Mr. Henry Watson. But
That's Dr. Watson.
Dr. Watson, apologies. Yes, you're right, Dr. Watson. Is it Henry Watson?
Is his brother here?
Mycroft.
Mycroft?
Yeah.
I think he lives outside of London, does he not?
He's part of the special I forgot the special unit, the special affairs.
Yeah.
What do they call it?
Of course he's here. Mycroft will be here, indeed.
I forgot what the department's a special something.
Very good. Anybody who's still alive is here.
Yeah. Yep.
So basically, entertain my guest. Entertain my date. Try to get to meet the authors, Arthur Conan Doyle, which would really be which would be something that Wilhelm really would want to meet because he's an author too.
It'd be kind of weird meeting Arthur Conan Doyle at a party with Mycroft Holmes. No, yes, of course, yeah. Conan Doyle is actually currently having a bit of a debate with Bram Stoker as to the merits of what Conan Doyle thinks is rather shocking, less
tasteful.
Yeah, less tasteful writings that Mr. Stoker is known for. But Mr. Stoker, of course, is also debate or arguing for the appeal to the common man and the success of the penny dreadfuls, etc. So yeah, you'll get a chance to meet Mr. Conan Doyle and Mr. Stoker. And while Mr. Wells kind of sits back, sipping a glass of champagne and looking bored with the whole thing. And as the clock strikes 9 p.m., a gaunt figure enters the ballroom. The man is pale and frail-looking, his black hair and goatee streaked with silver. He's dressed in black formal wear and walks with the aid of a cane. All eyes turn toward the man, and the musicians fall silent as one of the servants announces the arrival of the evening's host, Mr. John Bidwell. Pretty much nobody has seen Bidwell in a long time, in several years, and he appears to be in obviously ill health. He smiles and waves to the guests, and the music starts up again, and the party continues. And he begins slowly mingling with his guests.
I walk towards him.
Very well. He meets you. So yeah, he's kind of gaunt and pale. But give me a spot hidden roll.
That is not my strength.
As he shakes your hand.
Oh, I'm not worse at it. I'm not horrible at it. But at an 81, nope. Well, did you say shake his? I'm sorry. What did you say he did?
He'll shake your hand.
No, I grab his hand and bring him close in and give him a shake.
Oh.
Jesus.
Right, of course. No, that's true. Yep.
You're gonna trump the guy?
And to which he would say, Master Von Zorn, I'm glad to see you could make it. Is your associate here as well?
Mr. Bidwell. Yes, Reuben Carmichael Brand. I present Mr. John Bidwell.
I've been wanting to meet you. I've heard lots of stories about the success you've been having since taking over. Was it your uncle's part of the business? He says.
My uncle, yes, sir. Indeed.
Yes. And you are doing a great job carrying on in place of Colonel Hudson as well, Wilhelm. Great work. Great work
Right.
indeed.
I could never be as good as the Colonel. I mean, yeah, as Colonel Hudson, but I try.
And I'm sorry, I don't believe I have met you. He reaches out to shake Gerard's hand.
George Barnum, pleasure to meet you, sir.
Celebrated
Pleasure is
violinist.
mine. Ah, I see. And also a member of your agency.
Yes, yes.
Indeed.
Very good. Now, I would like spot hidden rolls also from Reuben and Gerard.
$31 of a 61.
Okay, good. How did you do, Rob?
1 point, I can make it a hard success.
No need.
I rolled a 100, so no way.
Yikes.
You don't even know. You don't even see yourself.
Okay, wow. Yeah, you're on your second glass of champagne already, and
Not even
just
sure where
enjoying the
you
sight,
are.
enjoying the party. Maybe he is distracted by the beautiful Miss Ava Fox.
I think he's more
Reuben.
distracted by the occultists across the room.
That may be as well. That may be as well. But Reuben, you definitely notice that Bidwell doesn't show any interest in meeting your dates, and you even catch him giving a kind of almost like a dirty look to one of the ladies. Go ahead and give me a psychology roll.
Indeed. Stand by. $67. My psychology. No, not even close.
Okay. Actually, the others can make the roll as well. I thought I'd give you the chance first since you.
Not my strong suit. That will be.
You guys.
Nope.
No. Gerard. Want to roll a psychology skill?
An 8, and he passed it.
An 8. Whew. Make sure you tick the skill because we need somebody to get good at psychology in this party. You
Okay.
pick up immediately that Mr. Bidwell is he's in full possession of his faculties, but he seems distracted to some extent. He has something else on his mind as he's kind of mingling and talking to you. You guys can all make medicine rolls as well, although I don't think any of you are any good at medicine. I don't know.
Nope.
No.
Well, I can make a roll, but I've got.
Yeah, roll. Just roll.
I got the basic skill. Yeah.
No, it's just 1%.
Yeah, 1 point.
Yeah.
Yep, that would be enough.
What was the skill? I missed it for a second.
Medicine?
Medicine. I have a high medicine. Hold on.
Do you? Okay, cool. So
Well,
he is good at medicine.
Not high, but higher.
Higher than 1.
25.
Oh. That's not bad. Ah, poor Belgrave. Belgrave has a rather good psychology skill.
I have a 31, so it cost me 6 to have a basic.
Do you want to spend the luck?
If he's in, if I leave it up to you. If he feels like he's intrigued enough, then yes, he will press it.
Nah, it's not really necessary.
All right.
That's fine. We'll let it pass. Okay, cool. Yeah, so he mingles with you for a few minutes, thanks you for coming. He's exchanging pleasantries, ignoring your dates.
I tell you what, I will take one thing based on experience. Does he carry with him any particularly dubious odors, as in like medications or the smell of rotting flesh? Something to stand for some decrepitude, something like that.
Well, okay, give me another medicine roll with a bonus die.
All right, stand by. A 23 and a 7, so a 23.
Okay, it's a success.
Yeah, I
You said
think
you had 25.
I have a 25. Yes, correct.
So you would recognize signs of malnutrition and neglect often associated with lengthy incarceration in a mental.
Any were his wrists exposed by any chance, or long sleeves? No, probably
No,
not.
it's a long sleeve, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you know what? His teeth might have shown it.
Perhaps. I don't know.
All right, fair enough. Well, he's going to keep it to himself, of course.
Okay, so after a bit, then he turns the conversation to the occult. So I know that your agency has quite an interest in such things. I have a bit of an interest in it myself. If the three of you gentlemen, not the ladies, he says with disdain, but if the three of you gentlemen would like to take part, I'm going to hold a private seance at midnight.
Indeed.
Sounds interesting.
And well, you know what? You can go ahead and make another psychology roll with advantage with bonus dice.
Is that everyone?
Yeah, the three of you as he's talking. I suppose if you wish to bring your date as well.
That would be no.
80,
God.
86,
That would be no.
86 and a 10, and his psychology is a 25. So he made the one. He made the second roll.
86 and a 10.
16.
Oh, 86 and 16. Okay, gotcha. Right. Yeah, you notice his hesitation. He seems to really dislike women.
Thank you very much for the invitation, sir. I will do my best to be there. Gertrude? And he will then begin to mingle and get her away from all of this and let her enjoy the party as...
Please remember, it is a secret to keep it to yourselves.
Mum's the word, sir. Gertrude?
Okay.
And he'll lead her off to do the things that she wants to do.
Yep. He will also excuse himself to go mingle with his other guests because there are many of them. Yeah, and the party will continue on. If you eat the food, the food's lovely. Lots of fantastic food, all fresh and being served by the chefs themselves. You know, we're cutting the food at the buffet and serving it to you. You know, putting on your plates, etc., whatever you choose. You know. And the party goes on as such for a while longer until about 11 o'clock p.m. When Bidwell thanks all of his guests for coming, but excuses himself, saying that he has grown quite tired. And as he departs, then many of the other guests also begin to leave. Do you stick around or do you leave?
Ugh. How far is my date home? In minutes.
Oh, that's a good question. What's your luck?
4.
I rolled a 2.
Are you
Not
serious?
far at all. She actually lives in St. John's Wood.
So I could take her home and be back before midnight, right?
You could.
That's what Zorn is going to do. He's going to do the whole aristocratic. You know, I can't pretend I'm interested in you, and I got to be interested and take her home.
Oh,
I'm
not interested in the lovely. What did I say her name was? Madeline.
Madeline.
Booth?
Yeah. I have to let Gerard and Reuben and Clarence know that I will be taking her home, but I'll be right back.
Okay, well, I will be the one driving, so.
Well, but let's take the young lady home and.
What about before you leave? What about Gerard and Reuben?
Gerard, go ahead.
Stick around? Are you planning to stick around, or are you keeping your date, or are you sending them home? Or
Gerard?
I'll tell my date that there's the important business matter that had come to us during this party, and we have to have a meeting with a potential client. And I give her my apologies and give her my card, or she can contact me, you know, in the future if she wants to talk to me, and I'll get back to her in the next few days when I get through this case.
She does not live in St. John's Wood, but you can get on one of the Hackney cabs to take her home.
Okay, I'll pay them and give them a little extra to make sure she gets there.
Of course.
Yeah. Done.
And what about Gertrude?
Gertrude, do you have any interest in one of these seances, or are you more intent on getting home to your son?
Oh, a seance? No, that would not be. They're terribly frightening, aren't they?
It is unfortunately one of the aspects of my job. I have to deal with these sorts of situations. I just wanted to give you the opportunity, if interested.
No, I do appreciate it, but no, I should probably get back to George.
Okay, if there is time, he would prefer to take her home. So if he would have asked us earlier, he would have made arrangements to get her home himself.
Let's see. Let me look real quick. What is your luck, by the way, just in case I have to go?
His luck is currently a 57.
A 57.
Oh, must be nice. Must be nice.
Oh, is somebody jealous?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where St. John's Wood is. Okay.
So many ways he's jealous of Reuben.
Yeah, you could probably get her back and get back in time. It would be close.
It would be more appropriate to do it that way. That's what he will do.
Okay.
He will risk being late.
Wow, I rolled a 3. Crap. Man, that would have even made Zorn's luck. Yeah, you managed to. Do you all take the? No, probably not, because Zorn is already taking the main carriage. Do you get a hackney cab with her? Yeah.
Say again?
Do you get a hackney cab?
Whatever I need to do to get there.
Yeah. Cool. No problem. Yep. Okay, and you're both back before midnight. So let me get to the right section here. Yeah. So actually, by 11:30, because I know you were still at the party there, Gerard. By 11:30, only a few revelers remain, and the butler, the head butler of the house, whose name is Hanson, will start to direct the guests who will take part in the seance upstairs. Of course, Von Zorn gets back at plenty of time, and Reuben gets back just in time. So, the seance is going to be held in Bidwell's library upstairs. In the center of the room is a long, heavy table covered with a purple cloth. Oh yeah, let me get these ladies out of here.
I whisper over to Reuben. Oscar would have loved this.
Indeed.
Now we're still staying outside, all right?
I presume so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. A large, ornate candelabrum rests in the center of the table. The windows have been drawn closed, and 13 chairs have been arranged around the table. Guests at the seance include the Theosophical Society's Annie Besant, Florence Farr and Dr. William Wynne Westcott of the Golden Dawn, the psychics Robert James Leese and Godfrey Williamson. Of course, there is Reuben, Gerard, and Von Zorn. Hold on, I'm about to sneeze. Got to the mute button just in time. And the remaining seats are taken by Dr. Peter Begg, Paul Donner, Sir Philip Knight, Dr. Stephen Mathers, and the last seat presumably is left for Bidwell, who has not yet arrived. Shortly before midnight, Bidwell's butler Hanson enters the library and closes all of the drapes. Hanson lights the candles, extinguishes the gas lamps, and asks that everyone take their seats around the table. Once you are all seated, he exits the room, locking the doors behind him. John Bidwell enters the library from the adjoining den.
Do the seats come with table markers so that we have assigned seating?
Yeah, basically. Maybe not table markers, no, but Hanson would have seated.
Very good.
Let's see here. Yeah, so Bidwell enters from the adjoining den, dressed in a black hooded robe and carrying a crystalline cube. Which I have an image for this cube as well. I should pull that up. cube. All right. Where is it here? Hey, crystalline cube. The clock begins to strike midnight, and Bidwell instructs everyone to join hands and close their eyes as he is taking his seat. As the 12th chime strikes, the seance begins. Bidwell begins a litany of occult rhetoric, stating over and over that he wishes to send his mind out to contact the others. You hear him say a word somewhere in all of this rhetoric that doesn't sound familiar, nor even like English. Could you make listen rolls for me, the three of you, please, to see if you hear the word clearly?
Oh my God, I made a roll.
Check your skill. Put a check mark.
I don't need to check it. I rolled a 7.
No, I mean tick your skill so that you can advance it after this.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry. Yes,
that's
yes,
right.
yes.
Check mark your skill. Yep. Okay. And how did you do, Rob? Did you make it? Listen roll.
Yes, I got a 10.
The unfamiliar word that he says a couple of different times sounds like Yekub. You can also, the three of you now can roll Cthulhu Mythos if you have any.
Yeah, no. I don't think, wait a minute. I think I do. We got one from that little nasty thing, right?
I don't know. Did you?
I thought you gave us one. I've got one check down here.
You got 1 point?
Cthulhu. Yeah, 1 point.
Okay. Sure.
Nope.
Don't you usually get 5? Oh no, that's for insanity.
Yeah.
But you did go insane, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Yep.
Sorry, you should have 5 more points.
Okay, because I thought you gave us some. I just couldn't remember.
Yeah, you should have another 5 points because you suffered a mythos-induced insanity.
Okay. Well,
The first
either
time
way,
it happened, you get 5 points. So
yeah, either way, I didn't make it. So.
okay, no problem. What about Gerard? Gerard also suffered insanity, didn't he? No, he didn't. It was Oscar and Alice. Never mind. So, do you have any Cthulhu Mythos?
I have a
That's
2.
You have 2? Yeah, you can roll 2. Roll D100. See if you roll 2 or 1.
Okay, I don't know.
What about Reuben?
No, I have none.
Wow, all these investigations.
I know, right?
It's amazing.
No insanity for Reuben.
I missed that one.
Okay, no problem. The seance continues and continues, and he just continues repeating, and basically seems. Oh shit! I have another image. It goes on for about 45 minutes, seemingly unsuccessful. There's the seance. At about 1:45, Bidwell slumps into his chair, breaking contact with those on either side of him, letting go. And his voice is nearly gone, and he's breathing heavily by now. He wearily declares the seance a failure. I thank you all for coming and participating. I apologize for the uneventful results, but it has taken much out of me. I have not been well lately, and I'm afraid I must call it a night and politely ask you to leave.
What may I ask you a question, Brother Bitwell? What were you looking for? I mean, who are the others?
Spirits, of course.
Any particular ones, or just your run-of-the-mill spirits?
Any who would speak to us. Unfortunately, it seems that there are none tonight. Not here in my estate, anyway. Here in my home. I will gladly speak with any of you tomorrow, but tonight I really must rest.
Of course. Huh.
So Hanson will unlock the door, turn the gas lamps back on, and begin extinguishing the candles.
Can I
of course,
as I'm leaving, can I take a quick look at the crystal cube that he was holding?
Sure. Yeah, you can see it. It's sitting right in front of him on the table.
Okay. Do I notice anything unusual or occult roll or anything like that?
No. I assume you're just taking a glance at it. You're not going to like grab it and pick it up.
No, I'm not going to physically handle it, but I'm going to.
No.
Brother, before I go, John, may I ask, where did you get this cube?
It's he kind of grabs it, picks it up, and puts his hands on it. So it's something I found in Australia.
Really? Perhaps we can talk more about it tomorrow.
Yeah, it's another failed adventure, I'm afraid, but well, I guess at least I didn't leave empty-handed. No?
Interesting.
Yes, I'll gladly talk to you tomorrow. Please get home safe.
Bathroom break.
Did somebody say bio break? Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay.
Bio break. Yay.
Yay!
As the seance leaves and all the guests depart, yeah, we'll take a quick bio break then.
Cake.
Yeah, go ahead and get your cake. I've already had my snack and I've had my coffee. I just maybe grab some more water, but oh, here, I'll turn the camera off so that anybody who's watching knows that we're on break. And of course, I'll turn the presentation stuff back on once the break is over. I'm not going anywhere though, so if anyone wants to shoot the shit, I'm still here. Sorry about that, Merrick and Clay. It's a rough one. Unfortunately, the lower class investigators are not invited to this massive party.
That's fine.
But you could have definitely enjoyed yourselves with the other drivers. As with possibly the court psychic, Queen Victoria. Which one was he? The court psychic? Robert James Lees. Yes, he was what was the seance. Cool.
I am back.
Oh, good. I was just talking away to myself. Whatever, man. Did you see your back, John? Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
And Clay's there. Eric's here. Rob, I'm sure, is here. Just waiting for John and Joe.
I'm here.
Oh, Joe's here. Just waiting on John. Despite the lackluster seance, it was still quite the party, at least. Somebody watching TV over there, Joe? Is that what I hear?
Oh, yeah. Let me turn that down. So,
Kids?
no,
No,
don't do kids anymore. No way.
don't do kids
Significant-
anymore.
Yeah, it's significant other. Yeah, don't do kids.
Fair enough. Come back, John. Come back.
How about now? Can you hear TV in the background?
No, I don't.
All right, good. Made a few adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
Same real quick.
Ian, I have a
Yeah.
question.
What's up?
Okay, on these, anytime I have a success on some of these skills, then I put a little ding there in the box, right?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay, that's what I've been doing.
You can only have one per investigation, one per skill, of course.
Yeah.
You know, because there's
Yeah.
only one box, but that just means that after the investigation is over, that's one of the skills you get a chance to improve.
Okay, because I had some left over from the last time I didn't notice until now. So. I
Oh,
put a
really?
couple-
You want
yeah,
you want to roll them real quick? What were they?
It was library was one of them, and I'm looking here what this other one was. I can't make it out.
No, we did library use at the end of the last
Did we?
thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we did.
All right, let me take it off of here then.
Maybe you just forgot to take off the tick mark.
Probably, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So okay, everything's fine then. I'll just
Cool.
wait and do it.
So
next.
anytime you succeed on a roll for a skill,
Mhm.
check that box.
Yeah, that's what I kind of
And
thought. So I've been doing
It
that.
doesn't count if you have to use luck.
Oh yeah, I haven't used
If you
it.
spend luck, then you don't get the check mark.
Okay, gotcha.
Back.
All right, cool. Now everybody's back. So the carriage ride home will be relatively uneventful. Oh yeah, I guess I better turn. There we go. Carriage ride home will be relatively uneventful. It's a foggy night, but yeah. Are you all staying at the Hudson and Brand agency? Is there enough bedrooms? There isn't, is there? One, two. Oh yeah, there's 3 guest bedrooms, isn't there? I think there's
Yes.
exactly enough rooms. There's exactly enough rooms that you can all stay there.
Yep.
Cool. So it's late by the time you get back anyway. It's like 1 a.m. So
Well,
we're
I
a little after.
would turn up the courage, man. Plan to go back to Master Bidwell's estate for noon.
Okay. Well, your current carriage driver is, of course, Belgrave, but
Oh, I keep forgetting that.
Stafford has gone home for the night. But if you want to tell Markham,
Well,
he'll probably be in bed when you get home.
I told
Indeed.
Clarence. I told Clarence, let's prepare to go back to Mr. Bidwell's estate tomorrow by noon.
Very good. I will see that it is taken care of.
Okay.
Belgrave,
So in-
Hugo, how was your night? Anything entertaining, interesting?
Well, the four-sized footman does cut quite a jig. And the gin they bring to these things is rather disgusting.
That is a shame. I do apologize for not getting you inside, but another time perhaps.
It might be best next time if we just invite ourselves, yes? As he probably watches a servant walk by.
Carry on, sir.
So in the morning, Markham has made coffee and tea, and is you can smell the breakfast cooking. But the bell rings at the door, perhaps probably before most of you even get up, unless you like extremely early risers. But it's like 7 a.m. and the bell is ringing. A little before 7 a.m. even. And 2 Scotland Yard detectives have arrived. They come in
Come in, gentlemen.
and are
Yes.
introduced as Inspector Martin Cleveland and Detective Sergeant John Craig. Inspector Cleveland is in his late 40s, gruff, belligerent, wary of strangers. Yeah, but okay, whatever. Detective Sergeant Craig is a bit more of an amiable chap, looks to be in his late 30s, kind of a rough and ready looking fellow. And yes, so they come in and say, you are Master, sorry, you know what to call you, Master. You are Mr. Brand, is it?
Indeed, sir.
And which one is Hudson? And Craig kind of elbows him a little bit. And he looks like, what? Apparently he doesn't know.
Gentlemen, you find us at an early time. What is the issue?
Murder.
We have no murders here, sir. Perhaps you've been misinformed.
I believe you attended a social event last night at the home of one John Bidwell in St. John's Wood.
Along with pretty much anyone who's anyone in London last night.
Indeed, yes. We've already spoken with many of them. You were next on the list. And which of you attended the party? You did, Brand, yes. Which one's Hudson?
Hudson is dead, sir.
My apologies. I was told you had a partner.
I do have a partner, Mr. Van Zorn.
Mr. Van Zorn, I'm Inspector Cleveland. This is Detective Sergeant Craig. Anyone else that attended the party?
Was he saying that to me? Or am I there?
Yeah, I presume you.
Okay, yeah. So it goes, Detective, could you sit down and perhaps explain what's going on? We could probably get through this faster if you go.
Well, we're going to need the use of a room. I would like to speak to you individually, one at a time.
Of course. We're always at the disposal of Scotland Yard.
Who wishes to go first?
I could go. If no one else minds.
Very
Go
well.
ahead.
And what room will we use for this? Let's see.
Do you need any coffee before you get started, sir?
Yes, coffee would be good. Have your man bring some downstairs. Yes, we're going to do this downstairs.
This
in the
would
game room.
You can use my bedroom. So that would help. It has a desk.
Oh, fine. Very well then. Your bedroom is your bedroom's also downstairs, right? Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Very well then. So who's going first?
I will go first.
If everyone else could please stay here in the parlor until called, it would be best for this investigation. So obviously, Inspector Cleveland has made himself quite at home.
Of course. So how can I help you, Professor?
Well, your host is dead.
Mr. Bidwell?
Indeed.
My God. How?
When did you leave the party last night?
We left the party perhaps around 1:15, after 1.
Did you see anything suspicious?
Describe what do you mean by suspicious, Inspector?
Don't waste my time, man.
I just simply trying to understand what you're looking for. If I do, I can help you better. But if you're asking
You
me
are familiar with Mr. Bidwell, yes?
Not personally, no.
No? Did he
No.
seem to be acting strangely?
He seemed to be tired.
Tired. Mhm.
Yes, yes. Haggard, if you will.
Well, he's certainly getting his rest now.
How did he die, may I ask?
Who else was at the party?
Well, there was myself, Reuben, uh, uh, Gerard, and our dates.
Reuben Carmichael Brand. Yes, that's your partner. I see.
Yes, yes, yes.
Gerard. Gerard Bonham. He's here as well?
Yes, he is.
I see. Okay. No need to talk to the dates, I don't believe. I don't think any woman would have been capable of what was done, and
And they left quite early,
I see. What time did they leave?
around 11, I believe.
Hmm.
So how did Mr. Manuel die? How did John die?
Tell me about the seance.
Well, it was more smoke and mirrors than anything else. Nothing unusual happened there. There was no spirits summoned. There was no lifting of tables, no poltergeist activities or anything like that. It was rather a dull affair.
I see. And you didn't see anything that struck you as strange or suspicious during the party, particularly after most of the guests had left.
No, no. We had made plans to go visit John today at lunch.
Oh, really?
Yes,
I thought you said you didn't know him personally.
not personally, no, but we follow in the same circles, and he's been gone for a while. And we just wanted to make sure he was all right.
Gone for a while, he's writing in his pad. Uh-huh. And where was he gone to?
No one knows. No one's seen him for a while.
Hmm. He didn't say to you where he had been, or?
Well, I was hoping that this talk to him, at the social visit today for lunch.
I see. Hmm. How do you know him? How did you come to be invited to his party?
We're in the same social circles.
Yes, of course.
So, detective, may I ask? We have many friends at Scotland Yard, and we're known to be a trusted agency here. So, curious, how did John die?
Well, I'm not really meant to give away too many details of the case, but perhaps if you make a successful law or persuade roll
How about
with a bonus die,
How
you have a
about
bonus die for no law or persuade with a bonus die for the reputation.
Okay, let's see. It ain't gonna be law. Persuade's not too bad. Actually, persuade's not bad at all. Actually, 42, and I just made it by 3 points.
Oh, okay. Very good. Do you want to spend some luck to make it a hard success? Just kidding.
Yeah, sure. Why don't I spend that 4 points?
Well, given your reputation of cooperation with the yard, I suppose I could divulge some information to you. I don't really believe that you or your partner had anything to do with this, but we have to, of course, cover all bases.
Of course.
Not so sure about that Bonham gentleman.
Oh,
Anyway, Bidwell was stabbed through the heart with a fireplace poker.
my God.
We are unsure of the motive as yet because nothing seems to have been stolen. However, Hanson Bartlett, Bidwell's butler, is missing and is our prime suspect.
Yes, that would seem to be the most logical search. I mean, argument with the butler. So, but I sense there's something more.
Well, I suppose you are an investigator in your own right, are you not?
Yes, sir. Yes, Inspector, of course. And
The whole thing just seems very strange.
what's the strange part?
The old man throws a huge party and then his butler stabs him in the heart immediately afterwards and disappears into the night. The timing seems off. Why would a man risk it in such a way after so many people had seen and had been at the house that very night?
Perhaps an argument.
Perhaps.
It would
Yes, a crime of passion, perhaps, he's scribbling.
Right. It wouldn't be the first time that the servants would take revenge, or Or
I suppose little is known about this Bartlett, but perhaps he was not a very intelligent man. I do not know. Maybe that is why he is a servant, after all.
well, that being a servant doesn't show low intelligence.
Not always.
Yes. Would you have a problem with us, the agency, looking around the Bitwell mansion?
I don't think it would be a good idea. The investigation is quite fresh, but if we should need your assistance, we will be in touch.
Of course,
If you would please send Mr. Brand down.
I will.
And send the servant back again. This coffee has gone cold.
Sure, Inspector. He walks back. He walks back up to the room and goes, Reuben, the inspector's waiting for you. Markham, let me make the coffee.
As you wish, sir.
Very well.
Okay.
And he will make his way in with his notepad.
Okay. Yep. And the two men are there sitting in.
Clarence will stand in the corner and look disapprovingly at Van Zoren making his own coffee.
They're probably not sitting. They're probably standing. Which bedroom is Von Zorn's? Yes, that. Wait, which one is yours, Von Zorn? Is yours the oddly shaped one?
It should say Hudson on it. I remember last time it said Hudson.
Oh, it does, doesn't it? Which one? See, Mr. Brand's room is 21.
What the hell are you talking about?
Mr. Hudson's room is 23, but I can't tell
the
which
room.
which.
Sorry.
Hudson's room, I think, is the one in the corner, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, okay, the larger of the two. Yep. Okay, cool. Yeah, they're actually standing, and they gesture for you to have a seat, Reuben.
Thank you.
I believe the servant is sending some more coffee down. This it's rather poor, I'm afraid. He just missing the
Perhaps some tea would be to your liking, sir.
No. The day is too long for tea. So, Mr. Carmichael Brand,
Indeed.
you were at the party last night as well. What time did you leave?
Well, we had a private meeting to discuss art and such at midnight. So I would assume sometime after 1.
Private meeting.
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Barely. It sounds like you're away.
What the hell is going on?
The other room.
No, I'm not. I just wow, so weird. Hang on a second. You know what? I think I know what's going on here.
It's
Yeah,
stuck
the
in your laptop.
microphone is set on laptop. Why?
That would do it. I should recognize that sound from the last time you had that problem.
Communications there. Okay, we go this way. What the fuck? Sorry about that, guys. Sorry, and I apologize for the sound quality.
Way better.
Yeah,
Why, Inspector? I'm unfamiliar with this laptop is. Could you explain?
back to in character. Sorry. So, yes, you said a private discussion about art. Who did you have that discussion with, Mr. Brand?
With our host and my partner and a few others, they were inquiring of items of unique and occult aspects.
At midnight.
Well, that is the penchant of those types. You know, they love their occult.
Strange, because it says here that there was a séance in the library at midnight. It says here that you and your host were involved in it.
Indeed, sir. I was minding my social requests of John. He did ask that it remain private. Yes, we were indeed involved in a séance.
Mm-hmm. He writes lying to the police down in his notepad. I see.
You might want to put that down as respecting social circles, sir.
Did you see anything suspicious at the party?
Well, sir, the party did include pretty much everyone who is anyone of some social or occult status in the city. So there was much to be seen that was interesting, if not unusual.
Was Bidwell acting strangely?
John Bidwell had the the clear and obvious signs of having been institutionalized in some form or fashion due to his gaunt and distressed self, his skin, his pallid nature, his eyes, his teeth.
You have a sharp eye, Mr. Brand.
That is why I do what I do, sir.
Who else was at the party? Anybody that stood out? Any known criminals or vagabonds?
Only those of social status, sir, and not my place to point them out.
Well, this is a murder investigation. Your host is dead.
Well, Inspector, there were a number of people who were there for other than social reasons. Nefarious types who float around the occult circles, if you catch my understanding.
I see. And those would be the people who took part in the seance, including yourself and Mr. Von Zorn and Mr. Bonham.
Mr.
What do you know
Bonham,
about this Mr. Bonham?
Mr. Bonham is a cultured and dignified violin player, sir. You may have heard of him. He's celebrated in London. Played for the Queen.
I'm afraid I have not.
Played for the Queen. He has.
Has he? Well, I'm not very much into music myself.
Indeed. He's a gentleman, and he was with us when he left, sir.
Very well. Well, I guess you could send him down next.
Indeed, sir. I will check on that coffee for you.
Thank you.
Detective?
The detective just kind of smiles and nods almost apologetically.
Indeed. All right. Well, he'll go out and check on the coffee and prepare his good friend Bonham for what's coming.
Okay.
Bring your violin. Ooh. Bring the violin by itself, not the case.
Will do.
They're in a mood.
Great.
So you go down there with your violin?
Yeah.
Please have a seat, Mr. Bonham. You won't be needing that. This is not a performance. This is an interrogation.
Oh, well, I just had it because I was tuning it upstairs, and I was told I needed to be down here as quick as possible. So
I see. Well, so you attended the party last night with Mrs. Brand and Von Zorn?
yes, at my date. At their dates.
What is your relationship to the agency? Hudson and Brand, that is.
I guess you'd call me an associate.
I see. And are you from London, sir?
No. I was raised in Ireland.
In Ireland, he scribbles furiously in his notebook.
I was raised
see.
in Ireland. My family, you should be aware of the Bonhams. They're not here in London very often, but their business interests are. Usually they're on the continent or elsewhere. I was raised by my grandmother in Ireland, and she's a Bonham herself.
I see. And when you attended the party with Misters Von Zorn and Brand last night, did you see anything suspicious?
I kind of thought one of the hors d'oeuvres looked a little suspicious. I didn't eat it myself. I didn't want to get sick.
You know that Mr. John Bidwell was murdered last night.
I've heard that.
Yes, so this is not the time for jokes.
Maybe there's a time to drill the people of this agency. We were invited there. We all three went. We all three left together.
And a man was murdered.
A man was murdered. And I'm sure the other gentleman gave you the information that we that happened at that night, and I'll tell you what I saw. We were invited. We were invited to a séance, and the séance to me was a failure. There was nothing happened.
What time was the seance at?
It was at midnight.
How long did it last?
Well, how long did it last?
About 45 minutes.
Somewhere between 40 minutes and an hour, somewhere in that area.
What time did you leave the estate?
Around probably 1 o'clock.
Did you travel by cab or coach?
We traveled home together, the three of us.
So a carriage then?
Yes.
Hired or private?
It was our own guy that did it, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, basically it's a carriage that the
Yeah.
agency rents.
Yeah. It was our agency carriage.
And who was driving?
Who was it? I'm not sure.
Belgrave and
Oh.
Hugo.
Oh, Belgrave. Belgrave and Hugo.
Hugo. What's your luck, Clay?
Being as I only played a few sessions, I still have where is my luck? 68 luck.
Damn
Hugo.
you.
Hugo. Would that be Merrick Hugo?
I'm not familiar with what his first name is. They call him Mr. Hugo. They seem to know him from. He worked here before I got here.
And is he here currently?
I don't know if he's on the grounds currently. He was here and has worked a couple of days prior.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they've hired him back again or he was just filling in for somebody that was absent. I don't run the business here. I'm just an associate so far as I guess you would consider me perhaps an intern would be, appropriate of what I've learning in the detective business.
I see. Well, let's test your skills, see how much you've learned. Did you think that John Bidwell was acting strangely in any way?
I had never met him prior to this, so I have nothing to, I have no meter to measure his strangeness on. Whether he was stranger than he usually is, I do not know. If you want to measure him against the public, he was a little different than if somebody you would generally meet out on the streets. Yes.
I see. You didn't know him very well at all then, previously?
I've never met him before, no.
And you were invited to the party because?
I'm assuming because I'm associated with the brands. I mean, this agency here.
Hudson brand, yeah.
Yeah, and then even though you don't know, but many people do know the family name. And once he probably saw that I was working with the Hudson brand, they probably invited me that way. That's the only reason I know of. I mean, and I do have a skill in violin, and I do concerts, but I'm probably under his not within his sight, generally.
Very well. Thank you for your time, Mr. Bonham. You've been very helpful. If you could please send Mr. Hugo down, or if he is not present, send us Belgrave, who you mentioned. And please find out what's going on with that coffee.
Oh, my pleasure. I'll make sure they get you some coffee as soon as possible if I have to deliver it myself.
Thank you.
So I'll go out and try to find Reuben or Joseph and tell them they're looking for Hugo and let them take care of that part of it, and I'll go check on the coffee.
Okay. Hugo, are you there?
Yeah, Reuben was already looking for the coffee, so that should be ready to go.
Yeah, Hugo's there.
I thought maybe you guys were deliberately stalling. I didn't know. So are you going to go down, Hugo?
Yeah, Hugo will go down. He's dressed non-discreetly, but he'll go down. He'll open the door.
Nondescriptly, I presume you meant?
Yeah, nondescriptly, something that he can change in if he needs to disguise himself or whatnot. But
Okay.
he goes down as if he owns the place.
Okay. Coffee? Is the coffee going?
If he can get it, yeah, he'll take it down to them and add a flavor or two to it.
A flavor or two? What
A
kind
little
of flavor?
snot,
Ah, I see.
stir it in.
Yeah. All right. Oh, it is you, Mr. Hugo.
Oh, boys, it seems that your coffee's ready. And he'll put it down.
Please have
He'll
a
say,
seat.
Of course. What can I help you with?
What were you doing at the party at Bidwell's house last night?
Well, I was helping a coachman, Work is slow. He'll smile at that. And I needed to make a shilling or two, so I decided I'd help out.
How well do you know the Hudson and Brand agency? What's your affiliation with them?
I help out here and there. They pay pretty good. They help the homeless, the children.
Yes,
A
you
man
are
down on
known
his luck.
for your philanthropist and your charitable endeavors.
I'm glad you're so informed. And he'll smile at that.
So you were outside this party with the rest of the coachmen and the cab drivers, I presume?
We were swapping tales, keeping warm. The higher-ups didn't want
see
us
anything
there.
suspicious?
A lot of drunk nobles and whatnot, uppity-ups.
Any that stood out particularly to you?
No, not really. Nothing out of the ordinary from my sight.
And you must have been one of the last to leave since since Brand and Von Zorn and Mr. Bonham stayed for the seance?
Yes, we had to wait with the coach and the whatever they were doing up there, speaking to ghosts, talking to the dead, whatever that shit is. I was not a part of, nor know what happened. I stayed with the coach.
You didn't see anyone else looking suspicious late at night, maybe hanging around after you left,
He rubs his
skulking
chin.
about the property, perhaps hiding in the bushes?
He'll smile
Anything
at
like
some of these
that,
comments.
Mr. Hugo?
He'll just smile and remember some of his past deeds. No, nothing of that sort. Again, I was just helping rein in the horses, put down the stool.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. Well, I guess you don't know anything that will be helpful to us then, do you?
Not in this matter, no, but I'm always here to help.
Well, you know a man was murdered last night after you allegedly left this party. Given your criminal associations and your background, I will have to consider you as a potential suspect. However, I don't have any official charges on you at the moment, and you will not be detained for now. If you happen to learn anything or remember anything that may help our investigation, your cooperation would be greatly appreciated and could go a long way to helping to repair some of your own relationship with Scotland Yard.
Of course, I aim to serve.
And being the repeat offender that you are, of course, if we do find out that you were involved in this murder, I promise you it will be the gallows for you this time, Hugo.
Hugo will just smile. Well, one should always keep dreaming, yes?
Yes. Aim high. Please send down Belgrave.
Hugo will push the coffee over. Please enjoy your coffee. It's quite good. And he'll walk out the door. He'll get Belgrave, and it's your turn.
Very good.
You actually hear them. You hear Detective Sergeant Craig pouring the coffee as you walk out.
I wouldn't drink the coffee. And he'll walk away.
Belgrave, yeah. You said it, Belgrave, right? Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah.
So Belgrave, you arrive for your turn.
I do.
And the same. Mr. Belgrave, please have a seat. Would you like some coffee?
Not while I'm working, sir.
Well, I see. So you work here at the agency, is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
How long have you worked here?
How long has it been? Just over a year now?
Yeah, something like that. About a year.
I've
Under a year, I would say. Actually, no, wait. No, it's only like 6 months because you only started working here after.
right after he left.
Yeah, after Bennett left for India.
I have been with the agency for half a year. Prior to that, I was the butler for Oscar Bennett for several
the
years.
stage magician.
Indeed.
Oh, nice. I loved his shows.
Yes, he will be missed.
Indeed. Is he coming back? Do you know?
Based on his last communication, I believe he has no plans to return to London anytime soon, Inspector.
It's a shame. It's a shame. He's the best at what he does.
Indeed.
Well, you drove the carriage last night,
That is correct.
and Mr. Hugo assisted you. Is that correct?
Yes, he was acting as the footman.
How well do you know Mr. Hugo?
I have only met him these last few days.
So you're unaware of the fact that he is a violent criminal, multiple convictions, breaking and entering,
Oh,
burglary.
killed people?
I don't know. Perhaps that is what we're trying to find out.
He
Did
has.
he leave with you last night?
He did indeed.
And what time was that?
Shortly after 1 o'clock, when they finished with their business inside.
Mm-hmm. And you came back here directly?
Indeed. Non-stop.
And Mr. Hugo was with you the entire time?
He was right next to me on the bench.
And when you got back, what did you do then?
I retrieved the tuxedos from the gentleman, made sure they were brushed and put away cleanly, prepared the ingredients for breakfast this morning, and then took my sleep.
Or did Mr. Hugo assist you in all of these tasks?
No, he is not a manservant.
I see. And where was he at this time?
To the best of my knowledge, he was in his room, asleep.
Starts writing some notes. Very good.
The door was, of course, locked. It does make a rather loud sound when it is unlocked. I heard no such thing before I went to bed. After that, I cannot say who may or may not have left the mansion. But everything was locked in the morning.
It's really unfortunate that Hugo is a well-known expert cat burglar. I see. Okay, very good. And as far as Misters Brand, Von Zorn, and Bonham, were they acting strangely at all last night?
They seemed rather bored with the whole affair when they returned.
Very well. Well, I thank you for your time, Mr. Belgrave. If, of course, you think of anything else that may help with our investigation.
Has he drunk any coffee yet?
Oh, yeah.
Damn. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, he's been sipping away at it as he's been asking you questions.
Okay. Because if he hadn't, I was going to say...
So is the detective sergeant.
Oh, well.
But yeah. Of course, if you think of anything else, contact us via the yard.
I shall endeavor to do so. Is there anything that I might get you as I leave?
No. You've been very hospitable. The second pot of coffee was much better than the first.
Indeed. I shall let the chef know that you enjoyed your drinks. Gentlemen, Detective Sergeant, Inspector, I'll leave.
So they'll give their calling cards, of course, to Markham. And again, as they're leaving, is just once again ask that if any of you think of anything else that may assist with the investigation, please don't hesitate to contact Scotland Yard.
Of course.
And then they make their leave. Probably that whole bit probably took about an hour and a half, so it's like 8:30 in the morning.
Gentlemen, Well, that was interesting.
Well, it seems that murder seems to follow this agency no matter where we go.
Markham says, Master Von Zorn, I believe you've lived here long enough to know that murder is a time-honored tradition in the city of London.
Yes, unfortunately, it is all too true. But,
It wasn't much better when your predecessors were in charge.
I managed to get out of the detectives that the Mr. Bitwell was stabbed in the chest with a fireplace poker, and his butler is missing.
I walk over to the fireplace and I pick up the poker.
Okay.
Clarence.
Despite the pointed look of the poker, it would be rather difficult to drive it through a man's chest, especially if he has clothing on.
Well, Mr. Bitwell was a bit frail when we saw it last night. I would think. Try to remember the size of the butler when we were there. How big was this guy?
That's a good question. Let me see. One second, I'm just looking for him here.
Size 120.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, he can do it.
Makes Loyal look like a child.
He was probably about your size, Von Zorn, about a 50, which is below average, really, because 65 would be average
Right.
if you think about how dice roll for size.
You said Von Zorn below average. That's funny.
He was not an imposing man.
So it would have been
Not an imposing man in any sense.
So it would have been kind of difficult for him to push it in. Yes. That does seem a bit odd, but it wouldn't be the first time a servant had killed their employer.
Indeed, when I raise an eyebrow.
Because of mistreatment. I do have some things to do today. Obviously, I guess we can counsel going over to Bitwell's mansion, but does anyone want to look further into this situation?
Probably at this point we should separate ourselves until Scotland Yard says so. No need to draw undue attention.
Yes, I mean, this just doesn't seem to be, except for the seance last night, doesn't seem to be about a wheelhouse, to be honest. Huh. But I do have to attend some things. Clarence, I won't be needing the carriage. I'll ride into London myself. I mean, I'll use my own horse.
Very good, sir.
Okay.
That's what's on.
All right. So, what is everybody doing then?
Well,
In the house.
Okay.
Zorn will actually be leaving very soon afterwards.
Yes. Where's he going?
I have just sent you that.
Uh-huh. Okay. This is going to be interesting. Okay. Got it.
Okay, so Zorn's gone.
Mhm. Got it. Anything else for Reuben or Bonham or Hugo? Do you wish to do anything on the back of this investigation, or
do we have public knowledge or quick insight to if there's any other family members for the Bidwells, or was he like the last one?
if I recall correctly, John Bidwell
Was single. but I didn't know if he had parents and sisters and such.
No, I don't think so. I think he was the last one. There's no mention of any other family, so
I will get in. Reuben will get in touch with the solicitor for the Bidwell, and give him his card and let him know that he's available for appraising the properties for sale. Collectibles and such, and within. And then he will take time to find Mr. Hugo and see if we can have a private conversation.
cool. You go ahead and have that conversation if you like now.
Mr. Hugo,
Yes, how may I assist you?
it appears that Mr. John Bidwell has found himself a permanent case of the fatals.
That's just what I hear.
Leaving behind a household of interesting and potentially useful, expensive gifts, items, and collectibles of such, Nate?
I was making a grocery list of what I should pick up.
Indeed. By yourself, of course. We need not include any other individuals. Less that know, better there is.
Of course, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want them to get dirty. Yes.
Sure. So no, we're not even going to inform other associates. So what are you thinking? Sometime around second noon?
It would be a good idea. I'd gather my things and perchance take a walkabout that way.
Indeed. Let me know if I can do anything to help.
The procuring of a few items here and there. I believe I have everything I need. But let us just say that when they come back, our friends that visited earlier come back, I will need someone to vouch of my perhaps whereabouts. I am feeling a little ill and will retire to my room in your lovely home.
Of course, we will call the doctor.
Thank you.
Which doctor? Sorry.
We'll wait on the doctor. I'm going to have young Albie come up and note Mr. Hugo's looks and see if he can find me a suitable, down in his luck, not so healthy individual that looks like Hugo.
Okay.
After which, if there is one, then we'll deal with the doctor.
Okay. All right. So while you're doing that, and what's his name? Belgrave is assisting around the house with Markham, right, cleaning up after breakfast and doing the typical Saturday stuff. Oh no, it's Sunday now, isn't it? Yes, it is Sunday. That's right. Von Zorn, you are going somewhere. You are going to. I guess there's no point in obfuscating it since we have to roleplay it here on screen.
Okay.
You are going to the Grand Lodge of London.
Yes.
Why don't you, because you might have a little bit more knowledge about such things, you describe to me what it might look like, because I have not a clue.
Well, I can give you the actual address, but it looks like it's an older building, marble, stone, and it would look just like an office building. It's not really hidden. Everyone knows where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
At this time, I don't know exactly what the situation was there because I didn't do my research. But there should be a person at a desk in the entrance. He would greet me. I would greet him with the proper signs. Mm-hmm. And I would ask to speak to the secretary or someone about the secretary and let him know that Brother Bidwell has died under maybe some unusual circumstances. Is there anything?
Yes, we've heard.
Is there anything I can do to help?
So, well, please, make yourself comfortable. Of course, I'll fetch the secretary. You said, yeah.
The secretary or his representative. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
of course, I will be there. Of course, I'll be there for the funeral ceremony, of course. But
yes, that will probably take place. What? That would probably take place in a couple of days, right? Wouldn't be
Yes.
right away.
yes.
Of course. And eventually, the secretary will come down to speak with you.
It says, do we know anything about Brother Whitwell? That I mean, he was gone for a while, and I give them the whole explanation that Scotland Yard came and visited me, and we were there for that. Blah blah blah.
Yes, we already have someone kind of looking into it a bit, but you were at the party.
Yes. So was Brother Westcott.
Indeed. Did you see anything strange? Do you think the butler is indeed?
I find it slightly unusual. There was the seance, and he had some sort of artifact of some sort. I gave him the sign.
An artifact.
Yes, I gave a sign of distress to the brother, and he said no.
Yeah, he shook your hand then.
Yes.
Everything seemed to be okay with him.
Yes,
Interesting.
everything seemed to be fine.
Tell me about this artifact.
Well, it was a crystal cube with some sort of ring of gold, I believe it was in it, with some runes.
Actually, let me see. Do I have a description of it? I don't think it's gold. The cube. Yes, the cube. Crystalline cube.
Well, either way, I gave him a full description of it.
Yeah, no problem. Oh, wait, I know what the description of it is. I see. Okay. Now, quickly, sorry, Joe, but what would Wilhelm's kind of standing be within the Freemasons? Like, how high level of clearance would he have?
Rank and file. Rank and file. Wilhelm just doesn't have enough time to go further. I mean, he's basically rank and file.
Right. Yes, well, I appreciate this information about the artifact. We do have someone else also a little bit closer to the investigation, looking into it as well, of course.
But you're aware, Brother Secretary, you're aware of Hudson and Brand's reputation. Our resources are at your disposal, of course.
Indeed. This is a very good point.
Yes, I mean,
perhaps you can be of assistance. Go and see what you can find out at his home.
So, are you familiar with the artifact?
I am not.
No. We may have problems.
Interesting. This may have something to do with his sudden murder.
We may have problems.
The police have said that nothing was taken from the home. However, there's no mention of a crystal cube, so it would seem that something may have been taken after all.
Will we have problems with Scotland Yard?
Officially, probably.
Yes. Is there something we can do?
You would want to be discreet.
Is there something we can do about that? Scotland Yard. I spoke to the inspector that came through our agency, and he was sound like he was
Cleveland.
Yes.
Yes, he could be a problem. There isn't a lot that we can do about him. He is officially on the investigation, and well, there isn't much that we could do discreetly that would be moral to dissuade him. Sorry, somebody's typing.
Yeah, loudly.
He's typing loudly.
I think it's Merritt.
Yeah, it was Clay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I muted him.
Yeah.
Not Merrick, it's Clay.
Hi.
Playing Merrick. Merrick is playing Clarence. It's confusing.
I asked, I say, well, I understand, Brother Secretary, but one of the brethren was murdered. I would think that we would do whatever is necessary to find the culprit.
Of course, and that is why. Hold on a second. I'm just looking for a name. That is why. So next page. That is why Detective Sergeant James Mulverhill is also involved in the investigation. He's one of our own, as you know.
Oh, good. So I'll see if I can get in contact with him and see if we can offer our assistance with him.
Indeed.
Well,
Just, of course, the lodge cannot officially hire you to look into this. So again, like I said, please be discreet.
as always.
Sergeant Mulverhill will, of course, have to keep up airs if.
As always.
Yeah.
I nod, give him signs, and I leave.
Okay. Cool. And where do you go when you leave?
Look for Sergeant Mulderhill and Scotland Yard.
Oh, he's away on assignment in St. John's Wood.
Okay. Basically, I just leave a message for him to please meet me at Hudson Brand when he has a chance.
To please contact you. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Mhm. And I head back to the agency.
Okay. Now, will you guys still be at the agency by the time he gets back, or will you been gone off doing other things? You're looking for some down on his luck, unhealthy person that looks reminiscently like, or looks vaguely like Merrick Hugo, right? Or you have Albie looking for that, I should say. Correct, Reuben?
Yes, somebody that's basically just a drunk, not so much somebody with the Black Plague.
What's your luck?
57.
Okay. Right. Well, it'll be later, though. I'm sure Wilhelm will be back long before we get news on that. So
Fair enough.
so you guys will just be kind of chilling like this at the agency again when Wilhelm returns. By that point in time, it's probably early afternoon. No, wait, no, that'd be way too late. It was only freaking 8:30 in the morning you left. Yeah, it's late morning. Sorry, so maybe say 11 o'clock. By the time you get back, Wilhelm.
Yes.
And again, the entire party is reunited at Hudson and Brand.
Okay. If it's okay with with you gentlemen, and I can expect, I understand if you choose not to. I'd like to continue on investigating this case.
Indeed.
Perhaps this afternoon, see if we can gain entrance into the Bidwell's manor and take a look around for ourselves.
That is an excellent idea.
Really?
We need to be careful not to draw attention to the business. We've already been included as suspects at one point.
I understand, but I think they were just being thorough. The most likely they're still looking for the butler, which is something I was wondering, Merrick, if you had any contacts to maybe be able to find this gentleman.
I can ask in some low places. The detectives were so nice to let me know that if I am implicated, that I'll be hung. But for you gentlemen, I'm willing to make an exception.
Oh, well, we'll try to give you as much cover as we can, Merrick. You're one of us.
I would appreciate that.
So if you could find anything more about this butler, that would be appreciative. And Reuben, you know that cube, the crystal cube that Mr. Bidwell had last time. What did you make of it?
Honestly, I didn't get any particularly interesting vibes off of it, other than that it's a cube that had some sort of coin or medallion within it.
Nothing. Your vast knowledge of the strange and the occult that would give you pause?
I'm sure that if I'd had it in hand, I could be much more useful. But to be truthful, there were enemies at the table, and I was paying attention to the immediacy of the people.
Enemies? What do you mean?
The Golden Dawn was all around us.
No, they're not enemies. They're not. Why would you think they're enemies?
Clearly, we operate in different circles, sir. I did not notice the cube. Do you have the cube? I'd be happy to look it over.
Of course not. But I'm just curious, why do you think Golden Dawn is the enemy?
Why do you think that they're friends?
I didn't say they were friends. I just said they did nothing to me personally, and they did nothing to this agency as far as I know. Unless you know something different.
Out of game, the Golden Dawn were the ones that had the house with the tiger and everything down below, correct?
No.
No.
No. The Golden Dawn is a famous occult society.
That's what I thought. Yeah, the sexual magic people.
Let's see here. The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn was a secret society devoted to the study and practice of the occult, metaphysics, and paranormal activities during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Known as a magical order, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn was active in Great Britain and focused in practices on theurgy and spiritual development. Many present-day concepts of ritual and magic that are at the center of contemporary traditions such as Wicca and Thelema were inspired by the Golden Dawn, which became one of the largest single influences on 20th century Western occultism. The three founders, William Robert Woodman, William Wynne Westcott, who was at the party, and Samuel Liddell Mathers were Freemasons. Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, that's what
you mentioned Westcott. Yeah, that's right. Their system was based on hierarchy and initiation like Masonic lodges. However, women were admitted on an equal basis with the men. They were the first of three orders, although all three are often collectively referred to as the Golden Dawn. The first order taught esoteric philosophy based on the Hermetic Kabbalah and personal development, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So anyway, you get the idea, right?
Yeah. Golden Dawn.
I could be mistaken, but wasn't Crowley involved with the Golden Dawn?
Yeah, Crowley.
Yeah.
Aleister Crowley and his sexual magic. It was
No.
the Golden Dawn was all about sexual magic.
Well, Crowley took off from them, and they had a lifelong feud with curses and whatnot with each other.
Algernon Blackwood, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, interesting. Aleister Crowley, Arthur Macon. There's some interesting names. Bram Stoker. Wow.
Yeah.
W.B. Yeats.
Didn't they?
Basically, everyone at that party was.
A lot of people at that party, indeed. Yeah. So no, it had nothing to do with the tiger in the basements or in the sewer. No.
Gotcha. Well, either way, I did not consider them to be friends. I consider them to be enemies in context, if not directly, then direct competitors and perhaps conspirators in some various mysteries. To the point being, I was far more interested in the individuals, the living individuals, than the inert object. Although I would like to put my hands on it now that you've mentioned it.
Yes, it could be simply a case of angry servant stabbing their employee, but I think it's something we should look into.
Are we officially looking into this? Are we employed by someone?
Yes, employed by me.
I see. Okay.
And again, I'm not saying this is a full-on investigation, but there's no reason why not. We couldn't put up fillers and look at the murder scene. We might find something.
If we are allowed access to such, then I would be more than happy to help.
I'm working on it.
Very good.
And
All right, Hudson and Brand are on the case.
We're on the case.
kind of on the case.
Kind of. Unofficially
Kind of on the case.
Secretively on the case. That's the best kind.
Title credits.
Yeah.
Isn't that the best kind of case? The kind that you're not supposed to take.
Right?
Yeah. Because we never had any problems with that before, right?
No. What do you mean problems? Problems? What
It
problems?
always turns out just the way we expected it to.
Man, I know I had some notes somewhere that I had taken down for this investigation. I cannot find right now. It's driving me nuts. Eyes of the Stranger, right? Is the name of the scenario. Yeah, there's nothing under eyes. There's nothing under the. Fuck's sake. I don't know what I did with it. Okay, cool. Anyway. So on that note, then it is, let's see here. It is Sunday. Oops, I put my pencil away, didn't I? That was dumb. It is now Sunday, where's my calendar? 13th, isn't it? Sunday? Yes, Sunday, the 13th of December. The Saturday, the 12th was the party. It is now about midday on Sunday the 13th that you have decided to take, well, to kind of look into this murder a little bit more anyway.
Indeed.
All right, cool. I think that's good. I think that's a good spot to wrap for the week because
right.
have a second game that I'm playing in here in about 20 minutes. So
Oh man, you're
I
just
will end the broadcast.
You're gaming out.
Yeah, I'm doing a doubleheader tonight. So it's going to be a long, but it's
Two
it's part
games
two
for
to a
the part
game.
to one.
It's part two to a game that I played last week. So I'm going to try to wrap that one up. So thanks for playing, and I'll end the broadcast, and I'll see you guys all in another 2 weeks. Well, actually, I'll see you anyway. I'm just ending the broadcast, but
Woohoo!